Delving into the depths of Indian economics and cultural perspectives, Dr. P. Kanaga Sabapathy uncovers wisdom that resonates across generations. It is my distinct honor to introduce a luminary professor, Dr. P. Kanaga Sabapathy, Secretary and Trustee of Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation. Dr. P. Kanaga Sabapathy is an accomplished author, academician, and researcher who has left an indelible mark on the landscape of Indian thought. With an academic background rooted in finance and a keen interest in India's indigenous systems, he has traversed through diverse terrains, both geographical and intellectual, to illuminate the innate strengths of our nation. Among his accolades, his book titled Indian Models of Economy, Business and Management stands as a beacon of his efforts to inject economics and management education. This seminal work has earned recognitions as a recommended text in esteemed institutions across India, including the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, and Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Additionally, his book, Bharata Poruladaram, Andru Indru, holds the distinction. Additionally, his book, Bharata Poruladaram, Andru Indru, holds the distinction of being the first Tamil book to narrate the history of Indian economy and business from a uniquely Indian vantage point. As a token of our admiration and appreciation for his ceaseless dedication to foster a deeper understanding of our nation's heritage and economic ethos, we extend to Dr. Kanaga Sabapathy a memento that echoes the spirit of learning and growth he embodies. I request Sri Arun Karthikeyan, Secretary, UEI, to present the memento to our esteemed Chief Guest. Thank you, dignitaries.
It's my privilege to address Dr. Balagumarasamy, who is known for his philosophy that skill-based teaching begins with those skilling in teaching. Professor Gurusamy is currently the chairman of EBG Foundation, Coimbatore. He holds an ME in Electrical Engineering, PhD in System Engineering, both from IIT Roorkee, and a diploma in Education from UK. He also serves as a member of High-Level Committee on School Education of Tamil Nadu Government and chairman of the Committee for Development of Textbooks on Science and Technology in Higher Education. He served as a member in Planning Commission of Tamil Nadu Government for 2 years from July 2011. He was yearly a member of Union Public Service Commission, a constitutional body established under the Article 315 of the Constitution of India for rendering advice to Government of India on matters related to recruitment, promotion and disciplinary cases related to different central civil services. As a prolific writer, he has authored more than 40 books on IT and computers. Many of them are being prescribed as texts in universities and colleges throughout India. In recognition of his accomplishments, he has been listed in the Directory of International WHO's Who of Intellectuals, UK, and Directory of Distinguished Leaders, USA. He is a proud recipient of many awards and honors, and to cite a few, Sadhanai Tamilar Award in 2013 and Lifetime Achievement Award in 2015 and Dynamic India of the Millennium Award in 2018. We feel glad to honor you, sir, with a memento as a token of our appreciation for our valuable contributions to this event. I request our respected chairman to present the memento to our chief guest.
as we gather on this esteemed stage, it is an honor to welcome Dr. K. Sendil Ganesh. His journey stands as a beacon of inspiration, guiding both seasoned professionals and budding innovators alike. We are privileged to have him grace us with his presence and share his insights. Now we welcome Dr. K. Sendil Ganesh to address the gathering.
Good morning, all. Most respected Professor Balagurusamy sir, Shri Professor Kanagasabapathy sir, Chairman Mr. Shanmugham, Secretary Mr. Arun Karthikeyan, Principal Mr. Radhakrishnan sir, staff, students, invitees, press, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, let me congratulate the management committee and the principal for hosting this G20, Y20 summit. I think this year, especially when our Prime Minister is heading the G20, it's very, very important that we not only adopt or absorb what's happening around us, but also expand our vision and see what's there like 20 years ahead. I know all of us are very busy with our day-to-day activities. You have exams to pass, you have degrees to graduate, jobs to be, placements to happen. But at the same time, we should also have a longer vision of where is the the society heading? What are the changes that is happening? So in light of this, they've chosen a very pertinent topic, Industry 4.0, 21st Century Skills and Agenda for the Youth. I think this is a very visionary topic, and especially in this day and age when each and every one of us are talking about digital era. In fact, like I was driving down from Sulur this morning and I was listening to a radio, and I think in a span of 1 hour, I heard advertisement mention this particular word, digital era, right? And all of you are born digital natives. That's what we call, we belong to Gen X or Y, then you have we belong to Gen X, you have Gen Ys, you have Gen Zs, and you're all called as digital natives. But do we know what is digital, right? We use this word very loosely, and everywhere, like all the Instagrams that you use a day in and day out, WhatsApp and everything, we know these are digital technologies, but this has a very distinct meaning. And I would like to take some time to talk about this particular word, digital. All of you must have heard all these new technologies like artificial intelligence, IoT, augmented reality, and a lot of other new age technologies. The revolution that preceded this digital revolution, we call it as IT revolution. That is where, like when I was going to college in the 90s, they were talking about the IT revolution, how ERP systems are transforming the business processes, and how major corporations are getting benefited because of the IT revolution. Now, after 2010, we are talking about digital revolution. Digital revolution is changing the business landscape completely, because there are multiple technologies involved in this digital era. AI is just one, IoT is one, and there are like 20, 30 technologies, augmented reality, software technologies, like when we were all growing up, we had C++, but now you have multiple technologies. And the difference today is all these technologies are working together, as opposed to different technologies in the IT era when they were all actually working independently. So for example, all of you must be having Instagram accounts. In order for this Instagram to work, there are, I think, minimum 50 technologies that are integrated, that are working together, connected technologies. This is what the digital era signifies, embodies, right? All these technologies come together. So for example, all the application that resides in your Instagram, it does not reside on your phone, it resides somewhere on the servers. We don't even know where they are. It could be all over the world. And that is a cloud computing technology. You have software technologies, you have IT, and there are like gazillion more technologies. And they are all interconnected and they create a lot of value. So this is what is digital. Now, there is also another world called as digital disruption. Because these digital technologies are so powerful, there are lots of new business models that are being created every single day. You have startups becoming unicorns all around the world. India is also has many startups. In fact, startup culture in Tamil Nadu has I think has really took off the past couple of years. We are going to have a startup Tiruvula next week. In fact, not next week, in a couple of days. Tomorrow. Yeah, this weekend. So these startups are actually disrupting major industries. I'll give you an example. WhatsApp. Like, how many of you know that WhatsApp, when it was actually bought by Facebook, they had only 18 employees, or could be less than that. Only with 14 to 18 employees, they developed this application and they sold this application for like $15 billion. $1 billion is 8,000 crores, and tens of thousands of crores they bought with, and only 14 people developed this application. This is not the end of it. After WhatsApp, the telecom industry got disrupted. SMS was a major source of revenue when telecoms came into being. The short messaging service that we all used was SMS. After WhatsApp, the SMS revenue went to zero. It was billions and crores. In rupees, it's crores and crores of rupees. It went to zero. And international calling, we are not calling using telephone connections. We just use technology called as VoIP, voice over IP, and we can just talk all over the world. I still remember the days when I was in college. My parents used to call me from here to the US. They had to book something called as a trunk call. You might not even have heard that word. You have to book a trunk call or an ISD, and then they will call you. It's a very long process. And now, in this 21st century, we can just talk to anybody. Not only talk, we can do video conferencing, Zoom. This has all become a matter of fact. Now, this is the power of digital technologies, and using these technologies, the startup companies are disrupting established industries, as we know. The retail industry got disrupted because of online retail like Flipkarts and Amazons. The car rental industry is getting disrupted as we speak because of Ola, Uber. So this is happening day in and day out. Now there is another thing that is a buzzword here, which is called as digital business transformation or digital transformation. Digital transformation is all about existing industries, how to face the disruption from the startups. Now tomorrow, 5 of you or 10 of you can join together, and with more and more liberalization that is coming to our country, you could in fact disrupt established colleges like ours, right? I mean, about 20 years ago, you had to come physically and you had to learn courses like this. Now, I'm also into higher education. We have invested a lot on physical infrastructure, but in about 5 to 10 years, like some of you can start a college just by using technologies and servers and everything. Now, digital transformation is all about how we as physical entities, we call ourselves as incumbents, people who are already established in the industry. How do we face this disruption? And we cannot just simply close all these things. We have invested heavily. A lot of livelihoods are at stake here. So how do we face the disruption is what digital transformation is all about. And Industry 4.0 is part of digital transformation, not disruption, sorry. It's part of digital transformation. A lot of companies are now investing on Industry 4.0. I'm not going to talk a lot of technical stuff. You have professors for that. But if I have to say in few words what Industry 4.0 means, it is all about making machines intelligent, right? I mentioned the word digital is all about interconnectivity of various technologies. Similarly, Industry 4.0 is all about connecting machines together and to make the machines more intelligent, so that first of all, they actually are working in a most optimized manner. Like most of these industries incur a heavy loss if some of the machines break down. But using Industry 4.0, you can predict when the machine is going to break down, and you can come up with corrective measures before, the keyword is before it breaks down, right? We all now do post-breakdown maintenance. For example, we had a small glitch in this in the mic this morning. Even before, if some technology can detect, and if it can send a message to the electrical department, and if they can rectify that, that is what making the machines intelligent means. And it is not about connecting one or two machines, it is about connecting a multitude of machines, not just within one company, but across companies, across industries. One example is General Electric, GE in short. You might have seen some of their machines. They are in many business verticals. Aviation is one, power is another one, and transportation is another one. They have now developed a platform. Like a platform is something like Make My Trip and Ola, Uber, we call them as platforms. Platforms basically connect two sides, or multi-sided platform connect multi-stakeholders. So in case of Ola, you have the taxi drivers on one side and travelers on the other side, and Ola app basically connects both. Similarly, General Electric is now being called as the father, or their vision, they are not there yet, but their vision is to become the father of industrial IoT. So they have developed a platform called Predix, and the vision is they want to connect machines not just within one particular company, but I said across companies, across different industries. Now, what is, for example, like you have, I said GE is in aviation. They manufacture airplane engines, and now the airplane engine, when it is in the air, when it is in mid-air, it keeps sending data continuously to the servers in GE, and they do analytics, they do artificial intelligence, and first, as I said, they can accurately predict when it's going to fail, and they can come up with a predictive maintenance solution. Not only that, they can also come up with a prescriptive solution. Prescriptive is like, if you do this, you will, this is what, like if you go to a doctor, he'll diagnose your disease and he'll prescribe some medicines. Similarly, a prescriptive application not only predicts what's going to happen, but also prescribes that if you do this, your productivity will enhance to this level. Now, the underlying technology for this is artificial intelligence, and the underlying resource is data. Data, you might have read or heard in many, in many news articles. Data, they say, is the new oil. More and more companies will gain competitive advantage by using the data, by leveraging artificial intelligence, by leveraging IoT, and by not only these three technologies, there, as I said, there are many more technologies that they will all use to create value and to capture a lot of value. Now, okay, so this is all very big, right? So GE somewhere in America is doing all these things. What is in it for all of you? Like, why should you care about all the changes that is happening? Precisely, you should care about this because unlike our generation, most of the jobs that you will get into right after college is not going to be there 10 years after your degree, right? Because automation is taking over. lots and lots of jobs are going to get disrupted, and you actually should start understanding these technologies. Don't worry, not everybody is a programmer, not everybody wants to be a core programmer, but you don't have to be a programmer in order to participate in this digital revolution. There are multiple jobs that will come about, but before even you think about jobs, but you should first of all understand about these technologies, what capabilities these are going to have. So I don't like to give advice, because whenever you give advice, it's not going to be well taken by this generation. But if I were you, if I was in your shoe, I would first of all start reading about what's happening in different industries. What are these technologies doing? What are these startups doing to the established industries? It will be a very, very interesting intellectual read for all of you, because there's enormous potential for each and every one of you to disrupt a huge industry like a big manufacturing industry. You can come up with a technology and you can disrupt that entire industry. I was just going, I received a WhatsApp yesterday where the heading of that video was printing fish. Can you imagine? Printing fish, right? Now, you can only go and farm a fish. You can go to a lake and you can catch a fish. How can you print a fish? There is a technology called 3D printing, right? So, using 3D printing, you can, whatever the foundries and the manufacturing industries are doing right now with big lakes and big, foundry men and everything, you can print certain 3D objects like how you print using a printer, right? So, for example, a construction, just go to YouTube and just Google 3D, just search for 3D printing. There is a technology that is right now in use, maybe not in India yet, but you can print a building like how you're printing a paper, right? So, printing a fish comes from you have all the genes, there are lots of research that is happening where you can print, where you can manufacture the meat without actually growing the animal. You can take the DNA, you can do whatever you do in a machine, in an assembly process, and you can come up with meat. I met a professor at a university called Wageningen University in Netherlands about 5-6 years back. And even at that time, he was telling that the research is at a very advanced stage where without an animal, they were actually printing, they were manufacturing meat from the lab. So the advances are coming thick and fast, and you should first of all be aware of all these things. I am not saying that this is going to disrupt everything that we know in the next few years. I am saying it will definitely disrupt, but not in the next couple of years. But it will take you at least 5 to 7 years for you to become proficient in these things. But before you become proficient in these technologies, it's up to you to understand what these technologies are doing to established industries. And I think this is what I would like to end by saying, that it is your responsibility. If you want to stay relevant in this digital era, you need to understand how these digital technologies are disrupting established industries. That is point number one. Point number two, how established industries are using these technologies to transform their businesses. That is what digital business transformation is all about. So digital transformation and digital disruption is something that all of you will experience at one time or the other, because you all have at least another 40 years of career ahead of us. Be well informed, be acquainted with what's happening in the industry, and you will stay relevant. I once again congratulate the organizers for coming up with this wonderful topic. Good luck to all of you.
Check.
Thank you, sir. Your dedication and trailblazing spirit continues to drive us towards a future brimming with possibilities. Thank you for being a guiding light on this remarkable journey of innovation. Apart from academic curriculum, we promise to have a longer vision, as we said, for the development of our nation, sir. I'm sure everyone would have got to know better about the nuances in digital era. Sir rightly said that prevention is better than cure, the famous proverb, is also now possible with Industry 4.0. Once again, we express a heartfelt gratitude for your insights on industrial IoT, sir. Without further ado, I invite Dr. Karana Sabapati to share his invaluable insights with his vibrant assembly. Your words, honed by years of rigorous exploration, are sure to inspire and ignite the flames of curiosity within each of us, sir. We welcome you, sir.
Most respected Professor Palaguruswamy, who is a mentor, role model to many of us, and he has inspired me particularly in many ways. I remember some 25 years back when I went to teach, maybe 30 years back, when I went to give special lectures in PhD Institute of Management. After a few lectures, he called me and said, "Are you willing to come and join us in our faculty?" I said yes. Then I said, "We have to appear for an interview eventually." Yeah. He said, "For you, no interview. You come and join tomorrow." So that is how I joined PhD Institute of Management 30 years back. So he remains an inspiration to many of us, and particularly to people like me. Dear Dr. Sendil Ganesh, Sri Arun, my dear friend and founder chairman of US United Educational Institutions, Sri Shanmugam, Professor Radhakrishnan, my dear faculty friends, young brothers and sisters. I am extremely happy to be here to spend time with you during this inaugural program on your Y20 Youth Festival on Industry 4.0 21st Century Skills and Agenda for the Youth. I will continue. A speaker only. So, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation is the secretariat for the Y20 events across the country now. We all know that India is the president for G20. G20 is the largest global body today. We have all developed countries and then highly populated regions of the world. So it's a big body, and India is the president of the G20 till December. So during this particular year, there are events connected with youth, there are events connected with labor, there are events connected with education happening across the country. And today we are having this here. I congratulate our founder chairman Sri Shanmugam, because I think this is perhaps the first Y20 program in the Coimbatore city, because I myself have participated in different states. I think this is the first Y20 event in Coimbatore, and that too on a topic that is very relevant to the youth of this country. So congratulations to Sri Shanmugam. This Industry 4.0 is, we all know, is the extension of this IT revolution, Industry 3.0. You know, here we involve the usage of IT, modern technology, processes like artificial intelligence, etc., leading to the creation of smart factories and enabling digital manufacturing. Our friend Dr. Ganesh explained to you in lucid terms as to how this digital technology is going to affect all of us. You know, now at present India is the leader in the world in terms of digital usage. We are far ahead of many developed nations. In fact, all developed nations across the world. About 4 or 5 months back, I was participating in a G20 meeting in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. There, the German higher officials who was representing the German government of Germany, he was saying, I quote, I am amazed to see the digitalization process that is happening in India. So this is what the Western countries are saying now about India. So the digitalization process that is happening in India is something unbelievable. This is because of the initiatives of the government. Second, the ability of the people to accept changes. So that is the reason why wherever we go, we see even ordinary women selling grocery items, making use of this instrument. In this connection, I want to narrate one incident which was told to me by a political leader in Tamil Nadu. It happened in Chennai about one and a half months back. There was a couple, Tamilians, living in Japan. So they came to Chennai to visit their old parents. They were staying there for a week or so. So one evening they told their parents, we are going to temple, husband and wife, we are going to temple. On the way, we will purchase the grocery items required for us. So what do you want? So they listed everything, and then on the way they went to a lady who was selling this grocery item. So they purchased everything, then they gave money to her. Then the lady was astonished, and the lady said, are you coming from foreign country? Are you coming from foreign country? The party country. These people did not know what to do. Because they pay money even today in Japan for all their purchases. But here an old lady was saying, there is an instrument over there. You please pay through it. But these people did not know. They said openly, you see an ordinary woman, grocery vendor, she is saying that you pay money through this. And as soon as they were not able to make money, she identified and said, so all the Indians, Tamilians, at least at that locality, they know how to pay money through the instrument. So this is how the digitalization process is changing India today. And particularly the government is leading this initiative. We all know about this Digital India schemes, etc. And India is the only country where we have created so many platforms, whether it is Aadhaar, UPI, Unified Payment Interface, or CoWIN. CoWIN is one such system through which the government was able to vaccinate now 2.21 billion vaccinations, injections. 221 crore injections have taken place through this COVID scheme. Some of us, our friends, we were monitoring every day this COVID progress. Every day you can see and how much COVID injections, vaccinations have taken place in Coimbatore. Every day, in different parts of the country. So these digital platforms are changing the way we live, and government is taking the lead. And here, one thing we have to understand, it is all happening through the public initiatives, government initiatives. And these are all public platforms today. It's not private platform, it is public platform today. I can list out so many initiatives. We have digi-lockers. You need not keep your certificates now. Today with you, digitalization, digi-lockers are available. And there are 14.8 crore users in digi-lockers today. Almost 15 crore lockers users today. How many documents have been uploaded? 5.6 billion documents, 560 crore documents today. So this is how this digitalization is changing the way we live. We approach things in India today, we have accepted it. So as a result, last year, financial year 22-23, total digital payment transaction alone, 13,300 crores. 13,300 crores. And one of the best uses of this digitalization in India is DPT, direct benefit transfer. So that is why we say when Prime Minister presses a button for Kisan Samman Nidhi, old age pension for farmers, it reaches here, Peiyanaicken, Palayam, or remote villages, wherever we have bank accounts. It is happening today in front of us. In the last few years, after this DPT was introduced, total DPT amount transferred so far, 31 lakh crores. There are 313 schemes for which now money is sent through direct benefit transfer. So no more district collector or village administrative officer or tahsildar or revenue inspector paying money. It comes into our own accounts. As a result of this DPT alone, it is estimated that government has saved 2.73 lakh crores. So there is absolutely no corruption at all. So this is how digitalization is changing the lives of our people in India. So we are moving ahead in terms of digitalization. I understand that if you take the global stage, 46% of the digitalization works, transactions that are happening in the world takes place in India. So we are leaders today. So our people have accepted this digitalization. This we have to understand. Second, as far as the 21st century skills are concerned, of course, there are different kinds of skill sets that are needed today. Dr. Ganesh was pointing it out. First of all, we need to have these foundational literacies like numeracy, ITC abilities, etc. Apart from that, we have to have certain competitive abilities like creativity. Then third, we need to have the basic qualities, character, like leadership, adaptability. This we have in abundance in India. By nature, we are all relationship oriented. By nature, India has enormous social capital. In fact, one reason why we have been growing over the years, in spite of all confusions and contradictions at the policy making level, is our family base, is our social capital. So this we have in abundance. So because of which the future is very, very bright for all of you youngsters. When we were all studying, we remember in our textbook we used to study India is an underdeveloped country. So this is how, in fact, the title of one economics paper itself was Underdeveloped India. So this was the title of the paper. But now no longer nobody can say that India is underdeveloped. It's fast emerging as a global power. Today, if you take on PPP terms, purchasing power parity terms, India is the third largest economy in the world with a GDP of more than $10 trillion. And we are the fastest growing nation in the world over the last several years. Last year growth rate was 7.5%. A few years back, London Business School had estimated that India had 85 million entrepreneurs, 8.5 crore, the highest in the world. So this is all happening. In fact, India is not just another country. We are a civilization, ancient civilization that remained as the most prosperous nation with pioneering achievements in diverse walks of life. Now, details have come through which we can understand the civilizational history of India. OECD study says during the beginning of the common era, 2023 years back, India was the most prosperous nation, contributing 32.9% to the global GDP, almost one-third. China was behind us with 26.2 crores. And India and China remained as the most prosperous economies for almost 18 centuries, more than 18 centuries. We were the top two economies with India remaining at the top most of the time. The foreigners, particularly the Britishers, destroyed the Indian economy, as a result of which we became a poor country. Otherwise, we were the highest literate nation in the world. When Britishers came here, they started collecting data with regard to education. India was the leader in education in the world. So all these systems were destroyed. Now we are re-emerging as a power. At the time of independence, our literacy rate was just 17 to 18%. Our average age of life expectancy was just 32 years. More than half of our people were living below poverty line. But today it is not like that. If you take the literacy rate, it should be about 78%. And all our universities and colleges, largely promoted by private entrepreneurs, private philanthropists, charitable organizations. They have contributed a lot to the development of India as a nation. So as a result of which today we are in a very critical position. In the last 15 years, the Western systems have completely failed, whether it is economic systems or their own business models, business approaches, they have completely failed. India is emerging as a global power, particularly after Corona 2021. Most of the major economies, they are yet to come up, they are yet to catch up. But India, in spite of all difficulties, it is emerging fast, emerging as a power. So as far as youth is concerned, this is the period for you. As the Prime Minister would often say, that 21st century is India's century. It is true. 21st century belongs to you, and we are the most youthful nation in the world today. So as youth, you have enormous opportunities. Because there are 2-3 reasons. One, the government is taking very serious, important steps. I remember, the present system of education, industry and education system, universities and colleges, they are not connected today. One of the reasons for the failure of Indian economy, Indian system, is that we have failed to implement a nation-centric educational approach. We are still following the Macaulay approach only. In this connection, I would like to quote our Professor Balagurusamy. He used to say, I don't know whether he would remember, but I have quoted this in many platforms across the country. Even though he is a computer expert and the most well-known author, not just in India, but across the world as far as IT field is concerned, he is basically an electrical engineer. So he used to tell one example. An electrical engineering student, after completing 4 years in university or a college, he comes home after completing his degree. Mother says, there is no fuse, can you please connect it, do it. The son does not know. But he has studied electrical engineering for 4 years. Then you ask the boy working at farmhouse, you ask him, you tell him, there is no fuse, can you do it? He will do it in a minute. So in spite of 4 years of education in electrical engineering, the boy does not know how to put fuse to it. So this is the problem with the education today. There is no connection between what is being taught and what is happening at the ground level. But India is a functioning society. We are all growing as a nation because Indians by nature have enormous economic and business wisdom. Whether they are educated or uneducated, they have enormous wisdom as a country. You take Coimbatore. Coimbatore has grown because of the enterprise of the native people. It is not because of the educational institutions. In fact, they set up the educational institutions. So there is huge disconnect between the education system and the functioning societies. I remember a few years back, Department of Science and Technology, they published a report in which they said 30% of the innovations in India take place through illiterates. They may be formally illiterates, but they have huge innovative abilities. So by nature, Indians have this kind of abilities. That is why day before yesterday, Prime Minister has announced a scheme, Vishwakarma Yojana, Vishwakarma plan. This is going to transform the Indian economy, in my opinion, because there are about 15-16 groups of people that they are concentrating. Goldsmith, blacksmith, potter, a person who is doing very ordinary work at the rural level, craftsmen. So they are all going to benefit out of it because they have enormous talents, skills, passed on over generations and generations, but we have neglected them. So this is the problem with the education system today, as a result of which now government has introduced this NEP, National Education Policy. It is going to connect the students at the school level itself with the local industries. So from the 6th standard onwards, you will be connected to the local industry. So you will come to know what is happening in a particular industry. It could be textiles or anything, agriculture. So you come to know, as a result of which after +2, now it is not going to be called as +2, senior secondary, secondary education. Once you complete it, you come to know about the industry. So if you want, you can go and take up your business also. You can promote a unit also. So now lot of things are happening at the government level. This is one. Second, there are many initiatives that are taken by the government to promote entrepreneurship, to promote innovation, to promote the abilities of youth, different types of abilities of the youth. So we have number of schemes that are encouraging youth particularly to involve in entrepreneurial activities, to involve in skilled activities. Skill India development was launched a few years back, particularly to promote skills in different sections of people at different levels. Some may be 5th standard, some may be 8th standard completed, some may be +2. So they have the interest, but they don't have the skill. So Skill India development program was started and it is doing wonders now. In Coimbatore and Tirupur alone, I know that they are giving skill. There are few lacunas for which government is working on it. So there are opportunities for the youth now. You have to use it. So now the only thing that we expect from the youth and the world India expects from the youth is that you concentrate in whichever field you are interested in. If you involve yourself in that particular activity. Now as far as schemes are concerned, government provides lot of facilities, lot of financial assistance in each of these activities. So you set your mind now, you decide, and once you study well, whatever field you may belong to, because there are school students here, there are college students here. So now opportunities are very high, that you have to remember. Only thing is you have to use these opportunities. Now when India is emerging as a power at the global level, you are going to be the messengers of this country. You are not just an ordinary person, because the world is expecting a lot from India as a nation. So you are going to be the messengers of this country, messengers of this civilization. We always excelled as a manufacturing power. I remember even in 1750, Yale University professor studied about the manufacturing capacities across the world. In 1750, India's contribution to global manufacturing was 25%. We always feel India will remain as an agricultural nation. No, we are a superior nation in terms of manufacturing and industry. And we have had industries in several fields. The most sophisticated ship industry was here in India 3,000 years back. So this is our history. We have a great history and great future also ahead. Now the government is planning India to move forward. Prime Minister called this period from 2022 August up to August to 47 as Amrita Kalam. So this is Amrita Kalam. Foundations are being laid for Amrita Kalam, which is going to happen, in 2047. So every day, every year, now things are moving very fast. Youth should make use of this opportunity. So don't lose heart. Now, opportunities are awaiting. Opportunities are in front of you. Only thing is you have to find out, you have to hone your skills, you have to contribute. And if you do that, you will raise your stature, income, position. And in the process, Indian economy, India as a nation also will come up. I want all of you to come up in life, and the way you live your life, it should give respect to you, teachers, family, institutions, and the country also. So thank you very much. All the best.
As Sar said, it's true. Digitalization changes the whole world perception in a wide way. Digitalize everything around you, then you will become Gen Z kiddos, even you are in Gen X or Gen Y. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and sharing your insightful thoughts with us. Now, let us warmly invite our chief guest, Dr. Palayam Gurusamy, to grace us with his presence and share his invaluable insights with this dynamic gathering. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. my friends at the dais, invited guests, fellow faculty members, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a wonderful day today for me to participate in one of the important events of the country actually, G20, Y20. And I am delighted to have two experts who spoke about, one of them the technology, digital, another person talking about economy. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert on digital technology or economics, both. I'm a layman. I won't talk about the digital technology or economy, but I will talk about the youth. Y20. I will concentrate only on Y20, youth development in this country today. It's an important event actually. The concept of youth is very important for a country like India. You know, our Prime Minister always says, youth power. We are proud of youth power of India. 40% of Indian population belongs to youth. And he has good telling all over the world actually about Indian youth. And yesterday he spoke about, a couple of days back also he spoke about, even American Parliament he spoke about India is going to be a developed country by 2047. Very unfortunate, 2047, another 25 years. 76 years we have spent after independence, no? Still we are developing country, developing a longing actually. Very unfortunate, I feel so sad about it. The countries became independent after small countries, small countries have become developed countries and we are taking aid from them, loan from them. No? Absolutely, it is amazing to see this kind of thing happening in this country. Why? India is one of the, as Canada told, culturally, educationally, one of the rich country olden days. We have rich heritage of education as well as manufacturing industry. About 10,000 years back, India is the number one in GDP those days. But today we are GDP fifth country actually. The Canada with an economics and he is also proud to say India is the fifth largest country in the world today. Absolutely great. We should all be proud of to be Indians. Particularly be proud of today to be under the G20 presidency. We are all happy to be today in this year living when Prime Minister Modi is heading G20 summit. But having said that, when are you going to become developed country? 2047 is too long. Forget about that. Why you have not become so far? What happened? Wait 75 years is a long time period. We have one of the largest education systems in the world today. Thousands of universities, thousands of colleges, CSR labs, Nehru started so many CSR labs in the book, they immediately became independent. You have IITs, everywhere you go. Walk across, there is an IIT today, IIM. All that, why we are not able to produce a reasonable innovation in the country today, a reasonable research in the country today. After Sir C. Raman, nobody got global praise in this country today. Couple of Indian names fellows got, but they are not Indians. Please remember, they are not Indians. They are all ditched India, went abroad, settled down, got a Nobel Prize. I don't consider them as Indian at all. After Sir C. Raman, 1930, after 1928, we have nobody got even reasonable praise on science and technology there. Innovation research is absolutely one of the most important area of development to make a country economically socially strong. I always say no country can progress socially economically if the country lacks creativity and innovation. That's why the small country, Korea, Taiwan, Japan, everybody is going because of the creativity and innovation. Japan, you take China, no? About 15 years back, you were almost same per capita income. Today, China's per capita income is many times more than, 10 times more than per capita income in India. Why? Because of innovation, new products, new services, export them, earn more money. Even today, India imports more than what we export. There's a problem there. For India's size of education, India's size of manufacturing, size of industry, we should export much more than what we import. Even if you close the Indian border, we should be able to survive without anything coming from outside, That kind of system we should develop it. With all our technical manpower, we are proud of Aryabhatta, we even and zero, all that we are proud, absolutely no doubt about it. But what happened to all that? Recently a study was made, an international study was made, why India has not become developed country with all in resources. Natural resources, name natural resources we have. We have technology people. Software, India is one of the leading countries in IT software. I have contributed a little bit. I feel so sad about why I wrote C book. I feel so sad today because sometime back, about a week back, I met somebody in Ranchi airport. One couple put a namaskar to me. I didn't know who are they. Sir, where are you? Sir, I am in America, settled there. How do you know me, sir? We studied your book only. C++, we are settled in America. I felt so sad about it. My book contributed them to go to America and settle down there, So all our good brain left. Vice Chancellor of Anna University, a BTech aeronautics fellow becomes C programmer. Mechanical engineer becomes C programmer. Civil engineer becomes C programmer. So how will a nation will improve if this kind of thing happens there? That is why we lost our manufacturing ability in the country has gone down last 20 to 30 years. I tell you, no country can economically progress if we neglect manufacturing. And software companies are responsible for India's becoming poor in economy, manufacturing. All our brains, went to programming. Why programming? You go to air conditioning room, 4th floor, 5th floor, late work there, one day jump and come to say. Absolutely ridiculous. Today, manufacturing industries are searching for good people. Even today, go to Coimbatore, sir, we don't have good people to employ. Technically skilled people. But you come to the street, you walk around, you hit again, you will not be a B fellow or a diploma fellow. Reason is, we somewhere failed to make our Indian youth competent enough. 70 years of lack of, that's what the research study says. There are 10 reasons given by the research study. Global research says why India has. One of the reasons is lack of educational achievement. We have not achieved what we are supposed to achieve through education, we have miserably failed. There are a lot of other things there, including lack of governance, lack of management, lack of lot of other there. But more, for all of us, it's a lack of educational achievement. As Ganasa was very rightly told, you have been teaching old concept, So we have miserably failed. Youth, we are proud of youth power. When youth power becomes powerful to the country, only you make youth useful, Otherwise, what will happen? They become a liability, The youth become liability if you are not competent enough, you will not develop them useful citizens, Otherwise, they become a liability. No employment, and all kind of crimes happen because in India, all crimes done by the Indian youth, educated youth, not uneducated youth. Even today, uneducated youth are still morally, ethically, they are good people. So that is where this Y20 summit is very, very important. How do you make our Indian youth competitive? There is a study made today, there is a NEET, not this NEET, medical NEET. Medical NEET, again there will be a controversy in Tamil Nadu. About last 1 week they have been talking about NEET, absolutely nonsense. This political players has no other thing to do other than talking about NEET. Somebody dies, it's a covered, he should die. You should not bother about who commits suicide. You should never bother about the people who commit suicide because they are cowards. You should never bother about it. The fellows go lying in there and then do all that and give money, that encourage them suicide. They encourage suicide, more suicides. So this is the problem of this politicians today in this country. So forget about all that. The need which I am talking about is not in employment, education and training. NET, not in education or employment or training. there are 20% of the men in India belong to this need. Please remember that, very, very dangerous statement. Not in employment or education or anything, simply roaming around. 20% of the men, 40% of the women belong to that. You see, how many people are not working at all, not educated, not paying, not working at all, is absolutely burden for others. So this is the country today, India. So India has to awake to make Indian youth really competent, employment oriented. Or start your own industry, entrepreneurship. What is that? So if you want to do that, degree is not going to help. As Amazon told, be electrical. He told wrongly actually, I told myself only. You want to hide it. I am B electrical, ME, PhD and a lot of experience there. I only told that whenever fuse goes in my house. So I call a lineman, night, dark, 1 hour, 2 hours, I wait for lineman to come and put the fuse there. My wife is calling you all useless engineer. Very rightly she is calling me as a useless engineer. And also she calls all engineers are machines. They are not human beings. My wife is psychologist. No? They are all machines. They have nothing, they don't know anything other than the machines. But she doesn't know, we don't know machine also, she doesn't know that. Poor lady thought we have also expert machine. That also we don't know. Only have a degree. Mechanical, degree, electrical, civil. I always say, jokingly, serious also, I take jokingly, but India producing engineering graduates but not engineers. Please remember that statement. India produces engineering graduates but not engineers. Similarly doctors, similarly lawyers. No? That is why today in India, we produce more than 25 lakhs engineering graduates every year. Where are they? What are they doing? Nobody knows. No study was made for that. Except thousands of fellows leave this country, join Microsoft, IBM, this, that, make Bill Gates rich fellow, this fellow, leaving Indians poor. No? That is where today youth, the Y20 is an important concept for Indian youth. You have to think, what is it I can do there? How I can do that? Degree alone is not sufficient. Having a degree has no meaning there unless you have certain skills. And that's what I am going to give you about few skills which a 21st youth need. Attributes of 21st youth of the country today. Those who got a pen and paper, you can note down. As soon as you don't take notes in the classroom, you will not take, no problem at all. Okay. So what are those skills we need? Some of them I think Sendil Ganesh told, some of them Ramasabha told, but I am going to consolidate all of them, give a list of attributes a 21st century youth should have. Irrespective of his degree, maybe BA, BCom, MSc, MCom, BE, BTech, doesn't matter. That's a domain knowledge. No? I was an UPSC member, we select IAS, IPS officers. No? You have a main interview, all of you know there's a main interview, is the biggest part of civil service interview there. You never ask questions on subject at all. The mains often have interview for selecting IAS, IPS and IFS fellows. We never ask questions on subject matter. As a rule, we never ask subject question at all. So we only try to find out how good he is as a human being. How his ability to think, the power of thinking, power of clarity, power of logical thinking. These are things we have to do. And also try to find out how ethical he is. It's very difficult to find out a man is ethical or not. Some time back, when I was a UPS member, I selected, wherever I go, the collectors are all whom I selected there. So one fellow I selected an IAS officer, he was a medical doctor. I asked him, why do you want to join civil service being a medical doctor? Sir, I want to serve the society. So society serving, medical doctor is the best way of serving society, no? What else you want? No sir, I want to serve a wider section of the society. Okay, anyway, he become a collector. The day he become collector, 24 hours he make money only. Even a small beach, he makes money there. Right? I tell you, the ridiculous actually. I called that fellow one day. So this is what he told him, sir, I want to be honest man, serve the society, but what are you doing this? No, sir, my boss is like that, My witty secretary told this. My wife wants more money, What a silly reason, sir, when IAS officer tell it to become corrupt, Today I tell you, 70% of the IAS IPS fellows in this country are corrupt. 75 fellows, some of them are here that you can make you 25%, don't worry about it. Today all politicians of the country today are educated, post-independent, All of us, including me. Why more than 60% of the all politicians are correct, 60% is a small number, even more also. Why are they correct? All ministers, they are educated, Like you, got a degree, school, studied, maybe cannot talk something, you can minister today, gold, hard gold. Why are they correct? Why? Today the most important evil of the country to make India not developed country is a corruption. Oh, that's all. It's one of the most of the this is like a cancer. Cancer is spreading everywhere. So you have to come out of that. If you want to make the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister to be 2047, if you continue to like this, if you continue to put these corrupt fellows, you will not become 2047 also, you will not become developer. You will continue to be there developing, So that is where I always tell, no government can make India development there. They can only make announcement projects there. Who can make India development? Only the education. Teachers of the country. Scientists and technology of the country only can make the India developed country there by their concentrated report and commitment. Not by CMs and PMs. They may announce it. They may have a dream. But you and I have to implement it, Now PM announced a lot of schemes yesterday. We have to implement it, That is where he talked about technology. Even technology can be misused for projects and Technology is good, but technology has been misused for corrupt practices. How to hide, Money you got, how to hide, You have technology, so easy for them to hide now. Pen drive, you can lock the pen drive. You can erase whatever story is locked there. That's what happened recently, The moment ED writes, erase everything, So technology, if you have physically, you can catch the document. If you can't, ED is in trouble to catch the document there. There is no physical document. So technology has both the sides. So ultimately, youth of the country today, I will give you 20 of the attributes what you could have in understanding your domain knowledge. Maybe electrical, mechanical, commerce, science, physics, mathematics. First one is the ability to think creatively. Ability to think. That's what World Economic Forum says. Organization for Economic Cooperation Development, OECD also says that. All of them say, what kind of 21st century skills we need are our youth. You go to the Google, search for it, World Economic Forum, OECD, all of them see. What they say, these are the skills 21st century youth should have, irrespective of the domain knowledge. So first one is, you should have ability to think creatively. That means you should be a curious person, curiosity. Unfortunately, in the school education, municipal education, college education, we never develop creativity among students there. We never allow them to become creative. We never allow them to become curious enough. We have to allow them to ask questions there. How many classrooms the teachers allow you to ask questions there? Very rarely. Because they are afraid if you ask questions there, I may not know the answer, so they just questions and run away. First important ability, attribute of a youth of today's century, we talked about 4th industrial revolution. Disruptive technologies, How do you manage all of them? You need all these skills there. Not only the subject knowledge, but unless you have the skills we are going to release, you will not be able to face the fourth industrial revolution which consequences. All the disruptive technology like AI, machine learning, data, whatever you talk about it, today the way in which manufacturing happens, business happens, way to communicate, way to market, everything is changing. Yes, Chenjil when I told you. But if you manage all that, you need, other than domain knowledge, you need these skills. So ability to think creatively. Second one is ability to analyze. Ability to analyze critically, That's where the problem solving comes. Any problem before you have to be able to analyze critically, so that you have to understand the various parts of it and then bring better solution there. The critical analysis. Again, the skill you have developed yourself. Please, no teacher will teach you in this classroom. Please remember that. The skills you are going to tell, nobody going to teach you there. You have developed. Our teachers have to provide you an opportunity to develop these skills there. That's why the teachers who have these skills, then they can do it. The lack of teacher skill also is not found there. So third is what? Ability to synthesize. Putting parts together, That's synthesize, You have a lot of ideas here and there. How do you combine 2 ideas, 3 ideas together to make one thing happen, That is synthesis. Ability to synthesize from various ideas. You talk to Manasavadi, you talk to Chenjil, Ganesh, all that, you have a lot of ideas. How do you put them together? That is the ability to synthesize. You should have a domain knowledge, then only you can do that. The fourth one is ability to integrate. Integration means looking the picture, the problem as a whole picture, integration? Integration means whole. Look at the problem as a whole picture and then solve it. Don't put the pieces on there. That is the ability to integrate everything together and look at the problem there. The next one is ability to innovate. Very important. So innovation is the most important skill of a country to become economically strong. India is very, very poor today. It was very bad sometime back. Last 5 years we have improved it. Little bit. What is innovation means? Patents, number of patents a country produces directly related to innovation. How do you measure innovation of the country? The number of patents registered by the country. India's contribution is 0.3% of the world patent. Very bad. World number of patents annually, India's contribution is only 0.3% of the world. Japan 25%. China 15%. Where is 25, 15, where is 0.3? 225 by 0.3, how many times they are more innovative? Absolutely bad by that. With the number of universities, IITs, labs we have in this country, this 0.3% of the patent is absolutely bad. It's shamefully bad. That's why we are like this today. So we have to make it happen there. Why we are not done? Because we have never made our Indian youth innovative during the school days or college days. We just gave a degree, that's all. We only made them 200 out of 200 plus to grade. 100% visit in a school, you got an award. Absolutely nonsense. 100 out of 100 has no meaning. The 100 out of 100 boy will be useless fellow. Nothing to do with the creative idea, The mark does not reflect its creativity and innovation there. So we have been concentrating on only the past percentage mark degree, that maybe we forgot about making our Indian youth innovative and creative. So the ability to innovate is the most important one. So the patents, research, related to that is the research. India's output of research is only 3.9%. I don't know if I'm wrong, Manasavadi, he is a researcher actually, I'm not a researcher. About 3.9 or 4%, whatever may be. In terms of papers, again it's very low. If you take the quality of research papers, still I am worried about it. A lot of plagiarism, no? Today, if you have 5 lakhs in your pocket, you can get a PhD in other pocket. India today. If you have a 3 lakhs, you get an intern. That's the kind of country today we are living in. That kind of rogues are living in this country. There are unethical people there. You go to Coimbatore Lakshmi complex, there is a fellow there awarding PhDs, Lakshmi complex. This is there, give your name, topic, you will 2 years after you get a PhD there. Only you have to pay the money for it. How can in India, which you actually get developed only 2047, people have these fellows are still living there? No? Openly doing it. We are not able to any action against them, no? We don't put them in jail for 25 years, you know. Till 2047, these fellows will be jailed. Yes, then only India will be developed. There are some people who have to put them in jail till 2047. Then in 27, we will not develop anything. Like VCs, you know, some of them are just put in jail. 40% of the VCs of all over India are criminals. How are they going to be developed leaders of this country, you know? Absolutely criminal. You know, most of the VCs put court, you know, full pocket going there, you know? All pockets. At the end of the day, 5 o'clock, all pockets will be full. I never put a court in my lifetime. All our VCs have announced you know, full court will be, without court they never move out. So 5 o'clock he goes back, wife will check all the packet cards. When he finds empty, she will not give dinner. Wife also is like that. Terrible, this idea, I tell you, I feel so sad about it. So the ability to innovate is the most important. That's what PM always says, you know, we have to innovate. We have to innovate. We have to research. So that's one of the most important factors emphasized in national education policy, research and innovation there. We have a separate national research foundation, hopefully something will happen there. The next ability is what? The ability to communicate. I tell you, communication is very, very bad among Indians. In the classroom you talk, that's not that communication there, no? When teacher is teaching there, you are talking. That's not that communicate effectively from ideas. You have ideas, you are not able to communicate. You know, in UPSC, you know, most of the people from Tamil Nadu miserably fail because of lack of communication. They are very good in math. They have got a lot good mark in prelim, good mark in main, but they are not able to communicate. They know, but they don't know how to communicate. Either Tamil or English. Remember in UPSC, you can also talk in local language, there is a provision there. There again, they don't do properly. Our 2 languages were miserably failed. And third language we can't answer because we do not know other than these two. No? Both of them we do not know. That's the problem with the Indian Tamil Nadu fellows. You know? And Tamil Nadu fellows, they are not talking Tamil also. That's the problem there. So the communication is very, very important. What is the use of being a knowledge if you cannot communicate? Your knowledge is totally waste if you are not able to communicate to others or ideas. You know? And any language you can communicate, depending upon the situation there. If you go to north, you have to communicate Hindi. But unfortunately, Tamilians do not communicate Hindi because it's very bad for the culture. No? Talking Hindi is something very bad, you know. That is our culture. Tamil Nadu culture is Hindi means absolutely untouchable language. But German I can study. Japan I can study, but Hindi, no. That is untouchable. 30 fellows of politics in this state, you know, absolutely 30 fellows. All these fellows should be put in jail actually. If I have a permit, I will do that. But I will never become permission. That's the problem there. Pretty good. So Tamil Nadu, we are proud of telling 54% of GER. Great. But those quality, we left the bottom of the list of sales. We ranked 21st in the list of say 21. I wrote a letter to CM about a couple of months back attaching the research report of that. Why we are bad in terms of quality, in terms of GER. Quality okay, but not the quality. So quality alone is not going to matter. That quality is very important. You produce 10 people, good people, rather than produce 100 useless fellows, you know. So that's why the communication is another one. What the next ability to collaborate. Collaboration is again, he told me, collaboration is the most important skill of the 21st century. World Economic Forum says very clearly, collaborative skill is the most important skill of the 21st century. Without collaboration, you can't succeed in life. You have to work in team. You have to work with other companies, work with other internationals, all collaborative. You can't individually do anything. Even if you start your own company, you have to collaborate. The skill of collaboration. How to collaborate, how to listen. Listening is equally important. Teamwork. When I was Vice Chancellor, I called all the multinational placement directors, called for an interview. 100% placement anonymity. You will know. Useless fellow also get, because anonymity, Gindi means you will get a job with a useless fellow. But when the moment guy is there, you will be fired, because you will not be able to continue that. So the director told me, sir, your boys are very good technically, but working in team they are very bad. We have 3 fellows put to the family, there are 5 groups, Naidu group, Governor group, Kama group, Ayur group, they are very good in that. The groupism, they do not work together cohesively, they don't work. They don't respect others' view. Teamwork, you have to accept others also is important. So that working in team, collaborative is the most important skill of the 21st century. So he has no meaning. You get a job, but necessarily you will be fired for these skills there. You are hired for technical skills, fired for soft skills. No? It's very normally happens there. The next one is ability to work. It is the ability to challenge. I think that's very, very important ability. Challenging anything before you. Your teacher says something statement, you can challenge if you are not capable of it. To challenge. Challenge needs courage. Courage needs competence. And then character. Please remember, only because of lack of this one quality, we have corruption in this country there. Courage, lack of courage. I always say, youth of today should have courage to say no where you are supposed to say no. What is the purpose of education? No? Not to get illegally. Education purpose is to identify what is right and what is wrong. No? That is the purpose of education there. And you have a courage to say no, something wrong. No? If somebody says something wrong, you should say so is wrong. Even a teacher says, your manager says, your head says, wrong is wrong. It may be chief mistake, it may be governor, it may be your chairman, anyway, wrong is wrong, no? But today nobody says wrong. That's why the corruption. That's what I told him, IAS also, I called him, sir, my boss told me, sir, to sign the tender, I signed. The lack of courage, If you have a courage, you will never sign a wrong document. I tell you, no minister can become corrupt if the IAS fellows are perfect. All IAS fellows are educated like you, They have got a double degree, all that. Highly qualified fellows become IAS officers. And they are responsible for the minister to become corrupt. I directly challenge them. They are responsible for that. No minister can make money or become corrupt without these fellows. He has to sign the file. When minister says sign, he will sign and he will get the money. He will only sign, that fellow will get the money. Sometimes he also gets something. Both are partners in root. Partners in root. So that's why our education is trained to create a morally, ethically strong youth is country. So it's challenge, ability to challenge. The classroom you challenge your teacher. You can challenge your father, challenge your mother, something wrong, What is wrong? I tell you, when I used to have a lunch, those days, sambar would be so bad, lot of salt, I can't even eat, but still I say very good sambar. Excellent sambar, I have never had a sambar. If I say something wrong, dinner I won't get it. Same thing happens everywhere. Same thing happens everywhere. Yes sir, yes madam, I lived with yes madam, They will, some people with yes sir, Yes sir, yes madam, doing this Tamil Nadu, please let me know. The concept of culture of yes sir for anything, yes madam, anything, yes, ruling the Tamil Nadu from development and we have to caption there. You should have courage to say no. You should, because if you are, when you have a courage, you are committed, you are morally, ethically strong, then you have a courage to say both are not there, you become covered, you say yes sir. Wherever you say, sometimes they throw something, also take it, come, some they don't throw also, keep quiet, you know. So that is what is ruining this country, particularly Tamil Nadu today. So the challenge, courage to challenge is very, very important. You have to develop yourself. No teacher will teach all of that. Please remember that. It's not a part of the curriculum. It's all outside the curriculum. So all our teaching fraternity today in this country have to do that. You provide an opportunity for the youth to develop these skills during teaching training. Other than teaching mathematics, today we don't need teacher to do mathematics. We have a lot of things in that, no? To learn mathematics, law, physical, all that, we have Google, we have books, all that. We need teachers only to develop these kind of skills in the classroom. The last word, ability to lead ethically, ability to lead ethically. So all of you are going to become tomorrow an administrator, a manager, a leader, or a politician, you will become minister there, no? Some of you become doctors, no? Today how many medical doctors are unethical, no? How many are unethical doctors there? Simply put injection, put a 50,000 rupees bill. Remember, some time back I went to an hospital. I simply 5 o'clock I was telling, little giddiness at home. My servants lifted me to go to the hospital. I went to an hospital. I don't want to tell the name of the hospital. They are close friends of mine. All of them knows very well. If I take a go there, the section is waiting there. I am walking nicely there. No, sir. You have to sit down the section only, sir. You can't walk. I am walking. There is nothing wrong with you. No, you have to sit down there. The manager, director of hospital, CEO, all three of them are there. By chance, I informed them I am coming there. I should not have done that. I took him in the section there and all tests did. Nothing wrong, sir. Okay, sir. Then I am going, no, sir. Having come, you have to spend 24 hours in hospital. Put me in a room there. I didn't bring anything there. Nothing. I didn't have pass all that. No, sir. You don't care. Worry about it. We will take care of it. Yes, Coimbatore, recently. Stayed there. Nobody was there. I don't have an attendant, nobody there. When the driver came, I asked him to stay there. Take the morning, sir, 10 o'clock, you will go, sir. So gave the bill, 35,000 rupees bill. For nothing. Luckily, I had my card there. I gave the card to my driver. Don't take money. They don't take a hit missing. I have to bank. I want to go ATM to the money. For nothing, I 25,000 rupees. Tell me a poor man what to do that. I think this is the way most of the hospitals are built in. Same the doctors, individuals also. So basically because we lack honesty. I tell you, India is a strong country, economically, ethically, morally, socially, we are weak. Average, we are weak actually. We have to improve. We have to make India ethically a strong country. That's all. We have to make it happen. Who will make it? Only you can make it there. Today's youth become tomorrow's leaders. Who knows, one of you become Prime Minister, 2040, one of you become Prime Minister, God knows, no? What will happen? You make Central Balaji Prime Minister of this country, what will happen? As you imagine, just like that. Imagine, just like that, a person like that Khaled to become a PM of the country there. Kaveri will be sold, Krishna will be sold, Ganga will be sold. This is where the education has miserably failed. I told you, I come to the first point. Education in the country has miserably failed to make our Indian youth competent and morally ethically strong. Forget about competency. First of all, you have to morally ethically strong. Then you become a competent man, the chosen field where you are. Then you become a great man. You don't need anybody's support to success in your life there. you are competent, you are moral, ethically strong, then you don't need any self-support of your parents, uncle, mama, nobody. You can do yourself. Success will be in your hands. But we fail miserably. Academicians, universities, education miserably fail to make our Indian youth like that. We simply went there, taught something there, we had a question paper there, asked any 6 question, ask 9 question, answer, any 3 answer there, you mark there, pass any you have nothing. At the end of the day, you do not know what is there. We have been doing it till today. Even though we are not changing that. That's what MEP says, you have to change everything. The national education policy very clearly says you have to change the curriculum, you have to change the teaching training process, you have to change the evaluation process. In order to make our Indian youth 21st century ready, competent, morally, ethically strong Indian youth. That is what all about NEP. That is what all about Y20. Y20 is nothing but talks about NEP. So that is where our response, the people like sitting there, simply coming and talking as moving there. You have to make it happen in the classrooms of the schools and colleges. First you have to start in the school. Make our students strong, ethically, morally there. Never speak lies, never cheat others. But day in and out, parents are cheating and you also start learning from them. The most important, why all happen? Because most of us become selfish. Most of us become selfish. Selfishness hides everything. Ultimately, become selfish, then you become money-minded, materialistic, and you lose all your moral, ethical values, all goes behind. You have to become outside selfless. You have to service about others. I always tell you should start always giving to people more than what you earn. That culture you have to teach our students there. Helping others, giving others is more. On that culture we start, then you become an officer, you won't earn more money there. You have enough money, you do not aspire for earning more money. Or house, everywhere you go there is a house, there is a car, there is a wife. Every town you have a wife. What kind of culture we have in this country? Well, because, as I told you, something wrong going in 70 years of teaching in the schools, we have not developed. I think it's a time now. The G20 has given us an opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity to us. Our Prime Minister has started G20. Normally G20, the country leads it, they have a ministerial meeting only. They have a ministerial meeting, have something, and get 5-star only lead before. But here, our Prime Minister Modi has taken it to villages, They have taken it to every state, every district, every village, every college, Idea is to spread the importance of youth development to every level. But seminar alone is not going well. You can have thousands of seminars. Last 50 years I have organized more than thousands of seminars like that. Seminar is not going well, but we have to implement it. We have to make it happen in the classrooms of the schools and colleges to make our Indian youth efficient enough, competent enough, thinkers, thinkers and doers. You have to create thinkers and doers of this country there. Then you will be justifying the Y20, the objective of Y20 is that. Youth power, you want to make youth power really useful power, you have to make them competent, Simply having a research grade, you have an expert not going to help that. So that is what this Y20 seminar is all about it. I would like to congratulate our chairman and Innotek Institute of Technology for having co-sponsored, and I thank Kannada Sabhavadi is the main brain behind it. I think Kannada is going to all over India, he has been traveling about G20, Y20. And he is a man behind it happening there. Modi announces, Kannada will implement it. It's a great thing. So you need people like that, I tell you, large number of government of India, state governments, announcements are there, projects are there, they never reaches a common man. Even today we have, per capita income. Kannada is so happy, they are 50 but per capita income, 112. Per capita income, we are 112 in this country. We have to increase that. Unless you improve per capita income, no country can become a developed country. We can become number one in GDP. We can beat USA, doesn't matter. But per capita income has to go up. And if you want the per capita income to go up, every Indian youth has to earn. Every Indian youth, every family, a youth has to earn, make income higher. Then only per capita income will be there. Otherwise, you don't happen there. You know? That is major problem there. You know, human development is finish now. Another 2 minutes. Human development is all of you know that. No? Education, healthcare, and per capita income. The human development index is one of the most important indicators of an education development of the country. We are 131 out of only 80 countries. Bottom of the list of countries. And that 131 which should go up. Remember, 131 is there last 20 years. 129, 130, 31, the three numbers only changing by error of calculations. We have to improve it. Like there are three components: health, per capita income, education, achievement. All the three are very big. So we have to address that. So the Y20 should focus on these kind of issues there. Make sure that we are able to contribute socially, economically, every individual, including woman power. As I told you, 40% of women don't work, don't educate. That thing should be facing that. You know, how many fellows in Tamil Nadu were wearing dhoti, not doing any work, you know? Go to any town, all dhoti walas don't work at all. Dhoti walas are urban, not village. Karaveti, no Karaveti, nobody works in Karaveti. Summa sitting there, Yamati, how many people don't work and eat? Remember, this happens only in this country. No country, politicians waste their time. They are politicians, but full time they work somewhere. No, they work. But here, not that you wear the Karaveti, that we not work there. Or looting others, cheating others, looting others. That's all entire. How many people are there in Tamil Nadu, no? How do you expect India to become a developed country if these fellows are surviving? You have to change everything, and you have to change. Only youth of the country today have to change. The revolution, you have to revolt and come and wait it and change that. That will happen there. And that is what all about Y20. Thank you very much. It's a great opportunity for me to talk to you, and I will thank everybody for giving this opportunity. If I said anything wrong, please excuse me there. It's my feeling actually. Because 76 years of independence, still we are a developing country, I feel so sad. In my lifetime, I don't see a development country. I won't be there 100%. I won't be there. I feel so sad about it. But still nothing to do that. At least now, the seminar like Y20 and people like Kanada Avadi are under guidance of Prime Minister Modi will make it happen there. And hopefully under 20 years we will make it happen. I'm an optimistic, but normally when I say optimism, we should be realistically optimistic. You know, 2022, when Abdul Kalam became president, Abdul Kalam is a close friend of mine. He became president, Advertisement, he was with me, and Anna as a professor there. We both stood for press meet. 2002, July 13 or 14, some date, he was announced as a president-elect. He made a statement, India will become a developed country 2020. All of you know that. There's a book also 2020. I told him, sir, don't announce it, it won't happen. He's a simple man. He doesn't know the world actually. A poor man. He never knew the world at all. He never knew economics. He only people, that's all, nothing more than that. I told, don't do that. Oh, Allah, we should be optimistic. I tell you, we should be realistically optimistic. Optimism is important. But to be realistically optimistic, which you can achieve. Even in life also have optimism. Make a realistically optimistic approach. Have a goal which is realistically achievable goal. Otherwise you commit suicide, like need to know. They need suicide all useless fellows because they do not understand their own ability, no. Everybody in and become doctor. When you become suicide, there are so many other things to do, no. Because you set a goal which is not achievable. So you commit suicide. Never do that. Have a realistically optimistic goal which you can achieve it, you will achieve it. Hopefully the 2047 I feel is a realistic, optimistic goal we will achieve. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Have a great future.
Power of youth not only revolutionize the college but also the world. Anyone can learn anything if you have the will to follow your passion. So follow your interest, fly towards it and become competent enough and nurture our culture of helping others. Definitely yes. As Sir said, be proud to be an Indian and serve your youth for our nation with your Indian pride. We should be like that I am made in India, so I am making India through our creativity and innovation. Jai Hind. We are truly grateful for your presence today and the valuable perspectives you have shared with us. Thank you, sir.
So as per the agenda, we will be discussing about Industry 4.0 after a tea break. Everyone assemble at the greenland for a tea break adjacent to the seminar hall. Gather at the seminar hall after 15 minutes.
Hello. Check. Hello. Hello. Check. Hello. Ada. Check. Hello. Check. Hello. Check. Hello. Check. அதில் இல்லை இந்த டிஸ்டன்ஸ் இருந்தால் கேட்கணும். ஹலோ செக். ஹலோ செக். செக். ஹலோ இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் எடுத்து லைட்டாக இன்னொரு பாயிண்ட். செக். ஹலோ செக். ஹலோ செக். ஹலோ 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 வைங்க வைங்க சொல்லு. நீ எதுவும் பண்ண கை செக். ஹலோ செக். செக். ஹலோ செக். செக். ஹலோ செக். 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 ஹலோ செக். Check. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. Check. Check. Hello. Control ஆக மாட்டேங்குது. Check. Hello. Hello. Check. Hello.
Check, check.
Today, we have gathered to unravel the significance of 21st century skills, a compass guiding us through the evolving landscape of our times. These skills, encompassing critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication, form the bedrock of adaptability and success in an era defined by innovation and rapid change. As we delve deeper into these 21st century skills, let us have a panel discussion where we would explore how these skills empower us to navigate complexities and harness opportunities, ultimately shaping a future brimming with promise and potential. The panelists for the discussion are Sri Srinivasan, the moderator for the panel discussion on 21st century skills, Sri Subhash KM, founder and CEO, Skillax Kerala, Srimati Sushmita Rajendran, architect, Bosch Global Software Technologies, Sri Muttaya Tyagarajan, co-founder and co-CEO, Spotify Coimbatore, Dr. Sarvana Kumar, Dean, Anna University Regional Campus, and Sri Selvakumar Varadarajan, Chief Executive, Layman Wilfresh, Coimbatore. Guiding discussions and fostering connections, Sri R. Srinivasan stands as a beacon of leadership, weaving threads of knowledge and experience into the tapestry of progress. It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Sri Srinivasan, a distinguished personality in the realm of business and entrepreneurship. Sri Srinivasan holds his Master in Business Administration and Bachelor's in Electronics. He shares passion on providing solutions and implementing them through Trecon Consulting Group. He trained in business strategy and organizational development and has 25 plus years of experience in entrepreneurship. He could handle assignments and train people pertaining to strategy, growth, financial planning, fund management, organization design, and business plan. He is currently pursuing an analysis-based self-study on financial and entrepreneurial psychometrics to elicit individual-specific business investment opportunities and solutions. He runs Trecon Academy of Career Excellence, an RBI IIBF certified training organization which provides certification courses to banks in addition to generic training in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, and part of North India through a network of centers. Sir is a certified business coach and consultant for SME in areas of strategy, finance, and business. Sri Srinivasan, one of the members in the Board of Studies of many educational institutions for subjects pertaining to knowledge, transfer, pedagogy, and industry relevance. We welcome Sri Srinivasan to the dais. It is an honor to present the memento as a symbol of a deep appreciation to Srinivasan, dedicating in fostering dialogue and forging pathways to success. Now we request our principal to present the memento to our moderator. Thank you, dignitaries.
Leadership is not about being in charge. It is about taking care of those in your charge. Sri Subhash is a serial entrepreneur and innovation enthusiast with 30 years of industry experience. He is a B.Tech electrical engineer from NIT Calicut. He has founded multiple companies including Trinity Mobility and Trinity DigiSecure. Trinity Mobility is a PE-funded IoT company in a leader emergency resolution solution, space with presence in over 9 Indian states. Listed among the top 6 business partners of NIT, Subhash has operated 10 franchised education centers successfully in Kerala, training over 25,000 students. The energy and creativity of youth are the driving forces behind innovation and progress. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. In accordance with this quote, Subhash make the young minds of today become the broad minds and immune minds of future. We welcome Sri Subhash to the dais. we would like to offer a token of gratitude to our Honorable Chief Guest. We would like to invite our Vice President, Dr. Saranamurthy, to present our memento to Shri Subhash. A developer is someone who can change anything to something. Now, in the world of technology, expertise is the guiding light. Shushmita Rajendran's journey is a testament to the heights that dedication and skill can achieve. Shushmita Rajendran is an experienced specialist with a demonstrated history of working in an automotive industry. She is also skilled in requirements analysis schooling. She completed her schooling at Avila Convent in 2009, and she pursued her bachelor's from Sri Ramakrishna College of Engineering in 2013 at Information and Technology. She is well experienced at the IT sector as she worked for the top MNCs. She joined as system engineer at Infosys, and she was promoted as the senior system engineer at the same company. Then she moved to IBM as a software developer. Then she joined at Bosch Global Technologies as solution architect and development specialist. She has completed many certifications from NASCOM, Amazon, and IBM. In recognition of her exceptional journey and contributions to the field of IT, it is with great honor that we present Shushmita Rajendran with a token of our appreciation. Now I request Ms. Shushmita to the dais. Now I invite Dr. Kannan, HOD of Science and Humanities, to present this memento as our gratitude to Ms. Shushmita.
Thank you, dignitaries. Sports teaches you character. It teaches you to play by rules. It teaches you to know what it feels like to win or to lose. It teaches you about life. Here, Mr. Muttaya Tyagarajan is an example for that quote, who is an active sports person, played professional level club cricket. He loves playing cricket, badminton, football, and other outdoor games that helps him to maintain his fitness. He is a CEO and co-founder of Sporfi Marketplace, Sporfi Activity Centers, Sporfi Cloud, and Tech Play Product Engineering Services. Handle core functional teams like product management, design, engineering, business development, sales, compliance, commerce, branding, content, and marketing for Sporfi and Tech Play PES. He has a strong and a deep knowledge on both technical and product side with 16 years of experience and have been a part of grown startups and enterprise companies. He is a co-founder and co-CEO for Sporfi India Private Limited, along with his work partner on driving the sport, fun and fitness ecosystem vision that we are building together, taking individual focused responsibilities in the company. He completed his bachelor's in mechanical engineering in Maharaja Engineering College. During his college days, he led cricket team for 3 years and event coordinator for 2 years, an enthusiastic participator in all extracurricular activities, and also represented Tamil Nadu state in cricket for under 19. We welcome Mr. Muttaya Tyagarajan to the dais to express a token of gratitude for your presence and support. We would like to serve you a memento. I would like to call upon Dr. Saravana Kumar, Vice Principal of Y20, to present the memento. Thank you, dignitaries.
In the Symphony of Academia, Dr. Saravana Kumar conducts the melodies of knowledge, innovation, and leadership. Dr. Saravana Kumar steers the ship as Dean at the Anna University Regional Campus, Coimbatore. Dr. Saravana Kumar, an alumnus of Tyagarajar School of Management, stands as a testament to the transformative power of education. With 3 postgraduate degrees in business administration, commerce, and information technology, his journey is a symphony of intellectual pursuits. With nearly 3 decades devoted to teaching and research, Dr. Saravana Kumar's influence as an academician and administrator is a beacon of excellence. His commitment to implementing quality systems has enriched esteemed educational institutions with his visionary insights. With nearly 3 decades devoted to teaching and research, his commitment to implementing quality system has enriched. Dr. Saravana Kumar's impact extends beyond the classroom, resonating through notable research papers and 6 authored books across domains as diverse as strategic management and disaster management. His innovation-driven approach illuminates the path of academia. Dr. Saravana Kumar's journey is punctuated by distinguished role as Director of Affiliations, Director of Center for Online and Distance Education, and Dean of Academic Campus at the former Anna University of Technology. Presently, he is the Dean at the Regional Campus, Coimbatore. With immense pleasure and honor, we invite Dr. Saravana Kumar to grace the stage. In acknowledgement of his remarkable contributions to education, research, and leadership, we take this opportunity to present Dr. Saravana Kumar with a memento. This token signifies our gratitude for his tireless efforts and the inspiration he radiates. I call Dr. Venkatesan, Placement Director of United Educational Institution, to present the memento to our Dean.
Pause and remember, slow and steady will get you where you want to go. If you put too much pressure on yourself for results too quickly, you will quickly give up. Stated by Jennifer Young. As stated, today we have such eminent guest, Sri Selvakumar Varadarajan, amidst us. It's a big honor for our college to introduce such incredible person in the IT field. He is the founder and chief executive in Layman Agro Ventures Private Limited. He is the living proof that states success depends on our heartful works and actions. He had completed his BCS and MPhil in Periyar University, Salem, and MFC in Bharathiar University. Besides, he is an entrepreneur, business accelerator, business consultant, and placement professional and a social activist who is fiercely seeking for a change in a society. We request Dr. Sri Selvakumar Varadarajan onto the dais. As a token of appreciation, we request Dr. Venkatesan, Director of Placements, to provide the memento. Now it's time for panel discussion. Sit back and have a thought-provoking session. We request the moderator to take over the panel.
So good afternoon. Long day, I'm sure, and we are all heading towards lunch. So we'll have it very short and sweet. We have one of the very eminent personalities, eminent in the context of the exposures what they have, right from a person, academician turned agriculturist. And Selva, you wanted a doctorate, it was given today. So right from that, a lot of needs are getting satisfied, very happy. So we have Muthaya, possibly Gen Z guy who has tried to convert his passion into business. We have someone who had a series of, say, Trishul, I think the Trinity, The Trinity has been your kind of a forte. So 3 elements of Eastern mythology on the creation and sustenance and destruction, who has gone through a lot of business cycles, sold, and come back with new avatar every time. We also have someone on the most happening industry, Shushmita from automobiles, and finally we have a doctor. We have in fact 2 doctors in the end. One doctor who just became doctor sometime back, to a doctor who had been into this education domain, and I'm sure these people will bring in a lot of flavor. In fact, had an opportunity definitely to come early and hear what Bal Gurusamy sir was speaking. I know it was very difficult, and நாங்கள் அதான் பேசிட்டு இருந்தோம். தமிழில் பேசலாம் இல்லையா? That should be okay, right? Except for you would be comfortable Tamil? No, English. Okay. So we will keep mixing, but the whole idea of this program is to reach. அதனால தான் தமிழும் சேர்த்து பேசணும் அப்படின்னு நினச்சிட்டு இருந்தேன். See, this is something, the change what we are undergoing. Never, I think, at least I have 26 years into industry. I'm into staffing, outsourcing and training services. We never spoke about skills. ஒரு டிரான்சிஷன் ஸ்கில்ஸ் மாதிரி பேசினதே இல்லை. இன்னைக்கு வந்து பெருசாக ஏன் தேவைப்படுது அப்படின்னு பார்க்குறப்போ, ஐ திங்க் திஸ் ஹேப்பன் சம்வேர் ஈவன் இன் 1900s. வி ஜஸ்ட் கோ பேக் இன் டு ஹிஸ்ட்ரி. You had steam engines coming, you had electricity, you had telephone. See, somewhere around that region, and people thought people are going to go away from jobs. There are not going to be jobs because there is electricity. There is not going to be jobs because there is, automation coming. There's not going to be jobs because letters need not be delivered. You can just call and speak to someone. But after 100 years, things have not changed much. Jobs have changed. But today we are in the same cusp of a change which tells like there's going to be a big change, and are we prepared? That was a time when, interestingly, if you just look into human sociology, there was a lot of discussion happening like this 100 years back, telling like what will happen to people. So much people are getting produced. If you're going to look into a very context of people, the whole world is swelling in population. And we had 2 events, major events, which actually control population on a very negative way, your world wars. But we are not expecting a world war. So it is going to be a time of peace, and today your skilling becomes a very, very critical factor. I was just browsing, and yesterday someone actually clicked a photograph. It was somewhere from North India, or a tea kada. Today, what is something what we always keep talking about? Things are going to change, and that is going to be Chat GPT. Hello? Hope you have heard this word. Okay, thank you. So Chat GPT is something. So this fellow was having a shop called Chai GPT. Did you see that? What is that? Chai GPT. Why? What is the meaning? And he has explained. Chai with genuinely pure tea. That is GPT. AI powered. What is AI powered? Adrak and ilachi. Just see how he had taken Chat GPT to tea shop. So this is what is happening. People are innovating. A tea shop guy is innovating. He's trying to change. He's not telling I'm selling tea. He's saying this is Chai GPT with AI power. So if that can happen to a tea stall, I think a lot can happen. And I think Sir had elaborate. He actually whipped today. In fact, I was just saying, should I remove my coat? And I'm not going to carry any cash. And luckily I had your principal also wearing a coat. So I thought, okay, we have some company. So in this context, we need to understand like what skills are required. Sir was talking about skills right from integrity to say your competency, communication, presentation, all those things. And I think these are the very critical factors which is going to make or break your career, honestly. So we also have school children, so we will definitely make it as simple as possible. The whole idea is you take a couple of points and see like your degrees are no more going to be just your passports to any place. In fact, Shubha sir sometime on a discussion was telling that please don't even mention which college you are coming from. So that is not going to be a parameter at all. Modal or degree vechirunda, okay, you can get a job. So today, degree is something like we have been just going on. In this context, this is going to be a big transformation, possibly as a generation. You're going to see a biggest whirlwind of change. And so someone who started as an academician, someone who wanted to become a doctor, someone who was also into a lot of these things and started something very, very basic need of human being, agriculturalist. So I think we'll start with him to tell like what are the skills he feels is something is required, and possibly because we are also running short of time, we may not have a very detailed discussion, but we'll have a few thoughts thrown in and take off, and we'll have some time for you to ask questions. So we'll start with you.
A Wilfresh afternoon to one and all. Wilfreshing afternoon, I said. You are very close to the farmland, and I am the representative of agriculture sector. To touch upon this particular topic, I would say whenever we interview people, okay, all the industry, what do we expect from you? Do you really have the macro picture, bird's eye view? Are you an informed citizen? கொஞ்சம் இன்டராக்டிவாக பண்ணலாமா நம்ம காலையிலேருந்து கேட்டுகிட்டே இருக்கீங்க இல்லையா? ஜஸ்ட் டெல் மீ, இப்போ இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸ் டே முடிஞ்சது இல்லையா? அதில் பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் மோடி செட் சம்திங். he has given you a task, right? he has given a task. What was the task? Selfie near a flag. I'm not going to reward you. எத்தனை பேர் செல்ஃபி எடுத்து அப்லோட் பண்ணீங்க? கை தூக்குங்க பார்ப்போம். Okay, 4 of you have done that. Remaining 396 people thought that somebody else will do. Actually, it was a very tough task, right? On August 15th, finding a flag was the toughest job in India. Okay, attitude. In the entire hall, I would rate the school children to be the most informed. Okay, I will rate the school children better than the college students, because the college students are 90% contaminated. The school children are only 60 or 70% contaminated. Thanks to our education system. Okay, the other guest in the morning, they were touching upon what percent of Indian graduates are employable, how many patents are we filing. அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப ஹையாக எடுத்துகிட்டு போகவே வேண்டாம், ரொம்ப சிம்பிளாக சொல்லிடுறேன் நான். how much you know about yourself. நேற்று வந்துட்டு ஒரு 10 கோடி பேர் தான் செல்ஃபி எடுத்திருக்காங்க இந்தியாவில், அவுட் ஆஃப் 140 crore. அவ்வளோதான் நம்ம மக்கள் பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணுவாங்க. இந்த 10 crore 12 crore ஆகுமா, 15 crore ஆகுமா, 20 crore ஆகுமா? How much do we know about our country? சார் சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தாங்க, மேனுஃபேக்சரிங்கில் we were leading the entire world. We were the superpower then. Okay, pre-colonial time, India was rank 1. 24% of Indian, the world economy was dominated by India. இப்போ இந்த டெக்னாலஜி ஸ்கில் இது நானும் ப்ரௌஸ் பண்ணி பார்த்தேன் வரதுக்கு முன்னாடி, கேபில் வந்துட்டு இருக்கப்ப என்னெல்லாம் சொல்லலான்ட்டு அது எல்லாமே சொல்லிட்டாங்க சார். 20 பாயிண்ட் போட்டு சார் சொல்லிட்டு போயிட்டார். அப்போ நான் உங்ககிட்ட என்ன தான் சொல்லுவேன், என்னோட பெயின் பாயிண்ட் சொல்லுவேன். நான் வந்துட்டு ஒரு 4 days பேக் என்னோட லிங்க்டின்லேயும் ஃபேஸ்புக்லேயும் வாட்ஸ்அப் ஸ்டேட்டஸ்லேயும் we are hiring at Wilfresh அப்படின்னு போட்டிருந்தேன். வில்ஃப்ரெஸில் லீடர்ஷிப். வில்ஃப்ரெஷ் வந்து ஒரு ஃபார்ம் டு ஃபோக் மாடல், பேசிக் நீட்ஸ், பால், பழங்கள், காய்கறிகள், கீரை வகைகள் எல்லாம் ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷாக கொடுத்துட்ருக்கோம். we are hiringனு போட்டிருந்தேன். ஒரு 30 பேர் ரெஸ்யூம் அனுப்பிட்டாங்க. சரி, அதில் நான் ஒரு 5 பேரை நேரில் வர சொல்லிட்டேன். அந்த 5 பேரில் ஒருத்தருக்கு மட்டும்தான் இந்த கம்பெனியை பற்றி ஒரு 10% தெரிஞ்சிருந்துச்சு. மீதி 4 பேரும் அப்ளை பண்ணிட்டு ஜஸ்ட் தே கேம். The same happens with college students also. When you apply for internship, my friend will definitely endorse this. Internship apply பண்ணிருவீங்க. இல்லைன்னா எதுலையா போயிட்டு கால் பண்ணுறப்ப சார் உங்கள் கம்பெனி என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க சார் நீங்கள்? கண்ணு நீ தானே இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் கேட்டு எனக்கு ப்ரொஃபைல் அனுப்புன, இதை பார்த்துட்டு தானே சாமி வரணும். ஓகே, ஆனால் அதை நம்ம பண்ணுறதில்ல. டீப் டைவ் பண்ணி போகணும். The college students in another 5 years or 6 years, your parents will tell, you are getting aged. Time to get promoted. Coming Sunday, that most awaited event is happening. பையன் வீட்டில் இருந்து வர்றாங்க, இல்லை பொண்ணு வீட்டுக்கு போகிறோம், வாட் எவர். இவ்வளோ மட்டும் உங்கள் அம்மா சொல்லிட்டு விட்டுறாங்க. ஃப்ரைடே என்னைக்கு ஈவெண்ட்டு? சண்டே. அம்மா பின்னாடியே போவேன். அம்மா வர்றது யாரு, பார்க்கறது யாரு, வாட் இஸ் த நேம், வாட் இஸ் த சர்நேம், விச் காலேஜ், இதெல்லாம் அம்மா வில் பி பசில்டு. ஏன் இந்த சர்நேம்லாம் கேட்குறாங்க? போயிட்டு ஃபேஸ்புக்லேயும் லிங்க்டின்லேயும் யுவர் இன்ஸ்டாலையும் போட்டு தேடி பிடிச்சி பார்த்தா 15 பேர் இருக்கும் அதே பேரில். எல்லா ரிசர்ச் நைட் ஃபுல்லாக பண்ணி யாருன்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சி 5 வருஷம் பழைய போஸ்டெல்லாம் நோண்டி பார்த்து இது என்ன பெஸ்டின்னு ஒரு ஃபோட்டோ இருக்கே. யூ ஆர் டூயிங் அ லாட் ஆஃப் ஒர்க் தேர், பட் வென் இட் கம்ஸ் டு யுவர் எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் யூ ஆர் நாட் கிவிங் யுவர் 100%. காலையில் சார் பேசிட்டு இருந்தப்போ இட் வாஸ் லிட்டரலி பெயின்ஃபுல் ஃபார் மீ. நீங்களும் பேசிட்டு இருந்தீங்க. நாங்களாம் அவரை பார்த்து பார்த்து வளர்ந்த பசங்க. நான் என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, give 100%, be informed. For heaven's sake, don't be ill-informed. Don't ever be meme-informed. மீம்ல வர்றது மட்டும்தான் உங்க நாலேஜா இருக்கு. We must know our heritage. நம்ம என்ன இந்தியன்னா யாருங்கிறது நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் அந்த ப்ரைடு தெரியணும். Unfortunately, we are celebrating wrong people. I'm not going to talk politics here. நலந்தா யூனிவர்சிட்டி தான் வேர்ல்டுலேயே டாப் மோஸ்ட் யூனிவர்சிட்டி அப்படின்னு படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. 5th century to 12th century, the world talents were attracted there. I'm a traveler. ஓகே, உங்களுக்கு இந்த செஞ்சுரியில் வேலைக்கு போகணுன்னா என்ன ஸ்கில் வேணும்னு பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கோம் இல்லையா? இந்த புக்கில் ரொம்ப டீப்பாக போகிறதெல்லாம் விட்டுருங்க. ஒவ்வொரு மனுஷனையும் படிங்க, ஒவ்வொரு சொசைட்டியை பற்றி படிங்க, கம்யூனிட்டியை பற்றி படிங்க. தட் ஸ்கில் இஸ் வெரி வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ChatGPT cannot do that. ஓகே, என்னன்னா இந்த நலந்தா யூனிவர்சிட்டி போகிறப்ப ஒரு ரயில்வே ஸ்டேஷனில் போய் இறங்கினேன். அந்த ரயில்வே ஸ்டேஷனோட பேர் பக்தியார்பூர் ஜங்ஷன். நம்ம அங்கே போன உடனே ப்ரௌஸ் பண்ணி பார்க்கணும் இல்லையா? எங்கன்ட்டு இன்னைக்கு எத்தனை பேர் பண்ணீங்கன்னு தெரில. பாலகுருசாமி சார் பேசினாரு. எத்தனை பேர் இன்னைக்கு நைட்டோ இல்லை நேத்தோ அவரை பற்றி ப்ரௌஸ் பண்ணி பார்த்து தெரிஞ்சுக்க போறீங்கன்னு தெரில. இன்னைக்கு இந்த 5 பேரை பற்றியும் பாருங்க. 5 பேரை பற்றி பார்க்கலனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, வில்ஃப்ரெஸை பற்றி மட்டுமாவது பாருங்க. ஓகே, என்னன்னா என்னடா இது பக்தியார்பூர்னு போட்டிருக்கு நலந்தா யூனிவர்சிட்டின்னு பார்த்தா, the person who burnt நலந்தா யூனிவர்சிட்டி, his name is பக்தியார் கில்ஜி. அவங்க பேர்ல தான் அந்த ஊர் இருக்கு. In India, anything and everything is possible if the people are ill-informed and if they don't know who they are. Okay, get that information in place, get empowered. Thank you.
I think this was a second whip. When you do not know everything, people take it for granted. So we should definitely go to the other end. Sir, why is it this way and what should these kids be doing?
Good afternoon to all of you, and thanks for this opportunity. I think when it comes to the industry's expectations are something different. But industry should try to mold the students community in the way what they want, because different industries require different kinds of skill sets or whatever it may be. But however, when we talk about this 21st century skills, so the collaborative approach is being cultivated among the students community now through various technological solutions available. So that makes them to reach better places. That will be the simple thing. I request the students community to develop whatever the skills listed in these 21st century skills, like what you call creative thinking, collaborative thinking, and problem solving ability, or whatever the skill sets are there. For all these things will get developed only through positive attitude. So our educational system does not have any methodology to create or nurture positive attitude, because it is there in the human beings existing. So that is the way. There is no methodology for that. I am asking my students always, will IIT give you positive attitude? Will IIM give you positive attitude? Will any other renowned institutions like PhD Tech will give you positive attitude? That all should be inherited from your family, from your mind, and the students should try to nurture it further, so that only there is a solution for everything. For example, we talk about artificial intelligence nowadays. Harvard Business Review recently quoted, there are 3 skills which cannot be replaced by AI, artificial intelligence. That is curiosity, as he rightly said, humility, and emotional intelligence. These things. For all these things are emanating from only the positive attitude. So that is the way the teaching methodology or the teachers, now the teacher's role have merely reduced as a facilitator. Merely our role is a facilitative. So the facilitative leadership should emerge from the higher level. That means, say for example, university system, the vice chancellor, registrar, the principal like dean, and it should emulate to the faculty, and it should end up with the students, and students should also be doing their facilitative leadership. That through collaborative approach, that is all possible. I will tell you a very simple example. The inquisitive mind, especially from engineering students, what I am talking, all other students also, not only engineers, even school students, the inquisitive mind is very much required. We should ask why, or what. We recently procured நாங்கள் வந்து எங்கள் கேம்பஸுக்கு வந்து ஒரு வெஹிக்கிள் ஒன்று ப்ரொக்யூர் பண்ணோம். அந்த வெஹிக்கிள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அதோட கெப்பாசிட்டி 1.5 டன் கெப்பாசிட்டி, 14 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கேன், அந்த சீட்டிங் கெப்பாசிட்டி 14. பட் நார்மலி ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஆர் லிட்டில் லீனாக இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ அவங்க வந்து ஒரு 20-25 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஏறிட்டு போயிட்டு வந்துட்டு இருந்தாங்க. நார்மலி இட் இஸ் ஃப்ரம் ரெனவுண்ட் கம்பெனி. ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு மென்ஷன் த நேம் ஆஃப் த கம்பெனி. பட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த பிரேக்கில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தேர் வாஸ் அ லீக்கேஜ், திஸ் அண்ட் ஆல் ஹேப்பனிங் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் த ஓவர்லோடிங் அண்ட் ஆல். So some of our students put their minds together and they got an idea and they developed a technology called dynamic braking system. Based on the load available in the vehicle, the pressure applies. So the pressure level they varied, and we gave this idea, this design to the company, and the company further put into R&D. Now in their system they are making this kind of, in their e-vehicle they are coming out with this dynamic braking system, which is unique quality of the company. Now it has become, even recently IIT has procured 8 vehicles because of this dynamic braking system. They have won the deal because of this unique feature that has emulated from an inquisitive mind of a student. So the positive attitude and the inquisitive mind, for which there is no coaching, there is no methodology. Like நம்ம அந்த கம்யூனிகேஷன் ஸ்கில்னு ஒரு சப்ஜெக்ட் படிப்போம், அதில் எல்லாரும் பாஸ் பண்ணிடுவாங்க கம்யூனிகேஷன் ஸ்கில்ல, பட் they will not be able to communicate. It is not talking in English only. Communication skill paper easy. What are the steps in communication, types of communication, barriers of communication? Barriers of communication they will study and they will write in examination and they will pass. But they will not try to remove the barriers of communication. That is a simple idea. So the positive attitude, especially the parents, the school teachers and college teachers should nurture that, but the students should come forward for this kind of developing this kind of positive attitude. Lot of live examples I can quote which has happened. I'll tell a simple example if I am not taking your time. Okay, now you have all got inquisitive mind when they will leave for us lunch. Am I correct?
No, the lunch time is fixed, sir. We have to decide to leave. That time is fixed. So we need to be short.
So it's a real story, just only 2 minutes. One person is called, his name is Ilam Bhagavat. He is an IAS officer now, I will tell you. அவர் ஒரு வில்லேஜ் பக்கத்தில் தஞ்சாவூர் பக்கத்தில் ஒரு சோழன் குடிகாடு அப்படின்ற ஒரு கிராமத்தை சேர்ந்த ஒரு வில்லேஜில் +2 படிச்சுட்டு இருக்காரு. அவங்க அப்பா ஒரு விஏஓவாக இருக்கார். அந்த விஏஓவாக இருக்கும்போது அவர் இறந்துறாரு ஹார்ட் அட்டாக்ல. இவர் அந்த கலெக்டர்கிட்ட போய் அந்த கம்பேஷனட் கிரவுண்டில் அந்த கருணை அடிப்படையில் வேலை கேட்டு அலைகிறாரு. 2 வருஷம் 1 வருஷம் 2 வருஷம் அலைகிறாரு. அது கவர்மெண்ட்டில் சிஸ்டம் ஸ்லோவாக தான் நடக்கும், அதனால் அவர் டிலே ஆகிட்டே இருக்குது. அப்போ அவர் பார்க்குறாரு, இது மாதிரி நிறைய பேர் வேலை கேட்டு வந்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ இதை ஸ்பீடப் பண்ணணும்னா யாருனால முடியும்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா அந்த கலெக்டர் நினச்சாருன்னா சம் கலெக்டர்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு டேக்கிட்ட ஒரு கேஸ் எடுத்து அதை இம்மீடியட்டாக உடனே கூட ஒரு நாள் ஆர்டர் கொடுக்குற இதெல்லாம் இருக்குது. அப்போ ஹி டிசைடட் எனக்கு மட்டும் நான் சொல்யூஷன் தரக்கூடாது, ஐ வாண்ட் டு கிவ் த சொல்யூஷன் டு த சொசைட்டி அப்படின்ட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு +2 டிஸ்கன்டினியூ பண்ணதை திரும்ப வந்து அந்த எக்ஸாம் மட்டும் எழுதி பாஸ் பண்ணுறது அந்த இருக்குது. அடுத்து சப்ளிமெண்ட்ரி எக்ஸாம் எழுதி பாஸ் பண்ணிவிட்டு மெட்ராஸ் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் வந்து அவர் வந்து கரஸ்பாண்டன்ஸ் கோர்ஸில் பிஏ பொலிட்டிக்கல் சயின்ஸ் சேர்ந்து படிச்சுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் ஹி பாஸ்டு இன் குரூப் 4, குரூப் 2, குரூப் 1. Recently, 5 years before, he passed IAS and he became the IAS officer who was looking for a job in compassionate ground. His name is Ilam Bhagavat IAS. He is serving in government of Tamil Nadu. இப்போ அவருக்கு வந்து 2 ஸ்கீம் கவர்மெண்ட் அவங்க கையில் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஒன்று வந்து இல்லம் தேடி கல்வி, ஏன்னா அவர் கல்வியை தேடி எங்கேயோ போனவர். இல்லம் தேடி கல்வி, இந்த மகளிர் உரிமை தொகை, இது 2ஐயும் அவங்கள்ட்ட கவர்மெண்ட் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஸோ அந்த இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இதில் என்ன சரியுதுன்னா அது கவர்மெண்ட்டை பற்றி நான் சொல்லலை. அவருக்கு பாருங்கள் அவ்வளோ பெரிய ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. அவருக்கு ஒருத்தருக்கு வேலை தேடிக்கிட்டு இருந்தவர் இன்றைக்கி ஒரு லட்சக்கணக்கான பேருக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஹி இஸ் கிவிங் 1000 அந்த ஸ்கீமில் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணுறாரு, இல்லம் தேடி கல்வியில் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணுறாரு. ஸோ வி ஷுட் ஆல்வேஸ் ஹேவ் அன் இன்க்யூசிட்டிவ் மைண்டு. அப்புறம் வந்து இந்த பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூட், இது 2 இருந்துச்சுன்னா மட்டும்தான் எனிதிங் கேன் பி கோப்ட் அப் வித். ஸோ தட் இஸ் வாட் ஐ வுட் லைக் டு சே. இதை வந்து இந்த ஸ்கூல் எஜுகேஷன் சிஸ்டத்துலையும் காலேஜ் எஜுகேஷன் சிஸ்டத்துலையும் இதை கொண்டு வர முடியல. நான் ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டேன் முதல்ல, ஐஐடி போனால் உங்களுக்கு பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூட் வந்துருமான்னு கேட்டேன். அதுக்கு என்ன ஆன்சர்னா பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூடில் வந்து ஐஐடி போகிறான் 99%. தட் இஸ் எ இஷ்யூ. ஸோ பட் ஹவவர் இங்கே இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு அந்த ஆட்டிடியூட் இருக்குது, அது நம்மகிட்ட தான் இருக்குது, வேறு எங்கேயும் இல்லை. இட் இஸ் நாட் அவைலபிள் இன் ஷாப்ஸ், இட் இஸ் நாட் அவைலபிள் இன் நம்ம வில்ஃப்ரெஸோட சாரோடைய ஆர்கானிக் ஃபார்ம்ஸ் எடுத்து சாப்பிட்டா கூட அது வந்துடாது. சரியா? பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூட். அவர் பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூட் இருக்கிறனால அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பிராண்ட் ஆரம்பித்து பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு. அதான் விஷயம் ஒழியா. ஸோ தட் இஸ் த திங். ஸோ இன் திஸ் வே நம்ம அந்த பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூடை வந்து நம்ம வந்து வளர்த்துக்கணும். தட் இஸ் மோர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். அவுட் ஆஃப் ஆல் ஸ்கில்ஸ், நம்ம 21st century ஸ்கில்ஸில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எல்லாமே சாஃப்ட் ஸ்கில்ஸ் தான். இந்த சாஃப்ட் ஸ்கில்ஸ், வாட் எவர் ஸ்கில்ஸ் ரிக்வயர்ட் ஃபார் அன் இண்டிவிஜுவல் டு லீட் அன் எஃபெக்டிவ் லைஃப், அதை பூரா லிஸ்ட் பண்ணிங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன், ஒரு 30 ஸ்கில் வருது. இப்போ நம்ம 21st century ஸ்கில்லில் வந்து ஒரு 10 ஸ்கில் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா இதுக்கெல்லாம் அந்த ரூட் காஸ் வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூட். வாட் எவர் த ஸ்கில்ஸ் யூ ரிக்வயர்ட் ஃபார் யுவர் ஜாப், ஃபார் யுவர் கேரியர், ஃபார் யுவர் லைஃப், இட் கேன் பி பில்ட் பை ஹேவிங் ஏ பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூட் ஆல்வேஸ். அந்த ஆட்டிடியூடை மட்டும் அது எங்கேயும் இல்லை, உங்கள்கிட்ட இருக்குது. தென் யூ ஹேவ் டு நர்ச்சர் இட் ஃபர்தர். அண்ட் திஸ் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் எஜுகேஷனல் சிஸ்டம் இவங்க ரோல் இல்லாமல் இல்லை, எங்கள் ரோல் எப்படின்னா we should create an ambience for that, we should create an environment for that, so that the system will get developed. That's what. So there is a famous saying, let me complete it. And God sleeps in minerals, awakens in plants, walks in animals, thinks in man. அப்படி ஒரு ஃபேமஸான சேயிங் இருக்கு. காட் வந்து எல்லா இடத்துலையும் இருக்காரு, மினரல்ஸ்லேருந்து, பிளான்ட்லேருந்து, அனிமல்லேருந்து. பட் we are away, if we are apart from this, one step ahead of all, because thinking and the positive attitude and inquisitiveness எல்லாமே அதனுடைய சப்சிடரி தான். all other things are whatever the skills mentioned in 21st century skillsல இதெல்லாம் subsidiary to the positive thinking. So I hope that the educational institution should further create an ambience that the positive thinking should be nurtured further. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So usually like that was a time நம்ம இந்த பழைய படம்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா எம்காம் கோல்டு மெடலிஸ்ட் வாங்கியிருப்பாரு, வேலை கிடைக்காது, சுற்றிட்டே இருப்பார். இது தப்பி தவிர ஏதோ ஒரு பழைய படம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இன்றைக்கி வந்து எந்த ஹீரோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறது இல்லை. ஓகே, அவன் படிக்கிறதே இல்லை. ஸோ இப்போ ஒன்று புரியுது, ஓகே இங்கே ஒரு ஸ்விட்ச் இருக்குது, அந்த தட் ஸ்விட்ச் வி ஹாவ் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். அண்ட் சார் வந்து ஷிஃப்ட் பண்ணிட்டாரு, இது காலேஜில் எங்களால் கொடுக்க முடியாது, உங்ககிட்ட தான் இருக்குது, நீங்கள் தான் பார்க்கணும் அப்படின்னு. அப்போ மேடம் சுஷ்மிதா மேடம் என்னெல்லாம் பார்க்குறீங்க, எப்படி இது கண்டுபிடிக்கிறீங்க? இவங்க பிகாஸ் ஐ சி லாட் ஆஃப் இன்ஜினியர்ஸ் ஆல் சூட்டட் பூட்டட். ஐ செட் இஸ் இட் அ மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் டீமானு கேட்டேன். அப்போ வெங்கடேஷ் சார் சொன்னார், இல்லை இன்ஜினியரிங் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸை நாங்கள் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் மாதிரி டெவலப் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கோம். தேர் ஆர் ஆல்சோ யங் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ். ஸோ லைக் அப்போ என்ன பண்ணணும், லைக் வாட் ஷுட் ஐ டூ so that possibly if it is a company like Bosch, what would you look at? He says it is positive attitude. Avarum vanda he says understand yourself. That is what Selva was trying to tell. So how would you assess it? How do you see? And what can these children do so that they can be available for a brand like you? And you have worked in a lot of MNCs, not only Bosch is the current. I mean, so what is that? You have been in both the sides in Nenikiran, as getting into the job and also taking people for job. So please enlighten us on that particular.
Thank you, sir. So good afternoon, all of you. So you first 2 rows are exception. So you should not answer this question because I see only you both, I mean first 2 rows are participating. I need someone from the back to get up and come forward. Anyone. So you see, this is the problem.
இல்ல டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன் வேணுமா? எந்திரிச்சு நடந்து வரணும்ங்கறாங்க. அவ்வளவுதானே? அப்பா பாருங்க மேடம்.
Okay, there is a language problem. Thank you. Your name?
What's your name? உட்கார்ந்துட கூடாது. Your name. உன் பேர் என்ன? என்னங்க இது கடைசில வந்து இது மாதிரி ஆயிடும்.
அவங்க வந்து முன்னாடி வரல. அவங்க வந்து அங்க இருந்து எந்திரிச்சு தான் முன்னாடி வந்தாங்க.
எந்திரிச்சு தான் வந்தாங்க. ஆமா. உங்க பேர் என்ன? எங்க இதெல்லாம் அவங்களே சொல்லுவாங்க. நீங்க ஓட்டாதீங்க என்ன? சொல்லுங்க.
Thank you, Nitin. So, you see, if you go, we will set up this same environment in a different place. Instead of South India, I'm being very specific, sorry for that, but that is the reality that is happening today, at least from my experience. So, when I was in Infosys, we have this intense training of 3 months. I was an intern. So, when I joined as an intern, what happened was that when there is a question, so I just asked, I know if I had asked that, if I didn't exempt these 2 rows, definitely someone would have come from here. I know 100%, I can guarantee that. But nobody came from there. But if this setup was in a different place, if it is in a different state, that is not South India, I would see the entire last row, or it would be 10-15 people coming forward. This is not happening during my training. This is not happening, this didn't happen during my training. This is happening till now, even when we induct new people. When even the Gen Z people who has a lot of attitude. There is a huge attitude difference that we see from the freshers that join 5 years back to the freshers that are joining now. So they seem very confident, very outspoken. But when there is a public forum, voicing your opinion falls back. We have that hesitant. Oh, அவங்க என்ன சொல்வாங்க இப்போ நான் எந்திரிச்சு போயிட்டா என்ன ஓட்டுவாங்களா? The friendship, the gang, the environment that you're setting yourself, you're always pulling your friend down. This is a harsh reality. But the confidence in people in a different state is completely different. They don't bother. They don't worry. They don't think what others going to say because it's your life. See, today if you come, get up and walk, the confidence that it gives you today will really go a long way to do a lot of things in future. This is one point which I wanted to touch upon, and keeping the time in mind, and just two more things. In the latest industry, as Srinivasan sir was asking me what you should do, we know that there is this industry 4.0. Do you know that there is an industry 5.0 and 6.0 coming up? How many of you know that? See, who is raising the hands? Can you raise a little bit higher so that everybody in the back can see? One? So I want everybody to raise your hands up. See, the information, thank you. The information that you're seeking is at your tips. Like, for example, I have a 5-year-old daughter. I'll be working at home and she'll be disturbing me. So what I'll say is, I'll ask her some questions to answer. She'll run inside and she'll come back. She'll run inside and answer me and she'll come back. Then after some time I figured out, she goes inside, asks the same question that I'm asking to Alexa, gets the answer, and she replies back to me. So that is what is the information that you're seeking is very easy now. But 20 years back, 30 years back, it is very difficult. There were lots of books, huge bundles of books. For one information, you have to search through pages and pages of books, which is just in a matter of seconds you get. So in this I 4.0, we have augmented reality, we have AR glasses. So the knowledge that you're gaining from books, if you're going to use the device, the entire manual will come in front of your eyes to do what to do and how to do. But if you don't apply your critical thinking, what is the right way to do? Like keep the vessel on the stove, pour water, and boil it. So if you don't there might be a miss. If you don't light the stove, the water is not going to boil. There is the critical thinking that comes into play, which is very, very important. Because the young age, the Gen Z that is coming with a lot of information, but with less critical thinking. With a short quote, which I would I like to complete, in my part of the discussion, like machines are getting smarter, but people are getting dumber. So you'll have to work on your critical skills and also your social skills, which is very important, because if you don't voice out what you're having in mind, the next step for your life will be difficult. So I don't want to end it that way. So the next step of the life will be easier if you bring out your social skills. So with that, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Awesome. So from self, we have moved to positivity. We have moved to what can be possibly social skills, how you connect with people, how you are confident with a crowd. So that is where I think we were talking about more about what this communication skill is. It is not a language skill. So, but still there was one person who stood out, possibly the youngest in this panel, and who stood out and told like, I did this and it is possible. And in one of these elements were possibly not tried and tested. I say like every parent, I was just talking to him, every parent wants his son to play and become a Sachin Tendulkar, but somehow we don't allow him to play cricket. This is what happens. He should study, he should get good marks. But we also know Sachin was a school dropout. So this always has been a kind of a clash, and that is where when you build all these ecosystems, let us hear from him on how you can manage all this, and how did you really, Muthaiya, come into this aspect of building this? What skills you were good as a player, you represented state, and there were a lot of people like you who would have been in your class, in your school, in that particular year. But you thought different. And what was that factor? And what is that factor these people can build in? It can't be just curiosity. It has to be something beyond curiosity. There has to be a kind of a functional, economical model. So help us so we understand that better.
Definitely. So thank you so much, Mr. Srinivasan sir. So definitely, yeah. So myself, Muthaiya Tyagarajan. So like he said, I'm a very active sports person. So the reason I would say is like, first of all, I'm not a French bench student. I'm a last bench student when I used to study. So it's not about what you study. It's about what you think and what you want to do as an aspiration. So I used to have an aspiration when I was a kid, maybe at the age of 16 to 18. I had an ambition of like, I want to give 100 people jobs, right? So that was one of my ambition which I always had when I completed my schools. So first of all, I would say like people should have some ambition first of all. So many people don't know what they are doing, why they are studying, what exactly they want to go forward, right? So mostly they either go back to teachers or go to parent and ask like after 12th, what should I do, right? So they never use all the technologies or all the modernization what we are seeing in this 21st century. So we use it like what sir told. So we use it for the wrong reasons, not for the right reasons, right? So when we can ask Alexa about something that you can ask a question and get an answer, so we don't try to think about asking the right question to Alexa, right? So that is a problem currently. So people always have a mindset of thinking about something which they can't do is also not practical. So mostly either they have a very over ambitious thought or they don't have any ambition at all. So there are two extremes, right, which happens with people. So primarily, especially in the young minds, I think it's not about only subjects. Subjects are something to learn and understand. It's not about getting the top mark, right? So it's about what you learn and what you understand. So I am a mechanical engineer into software. So there is no correlation between both, right? So it all depends on your aspiration, what you want to do. So definitely me being an active sports person, I really love to do a lot of extracurricular activities, right? So more than study, I used to participate in any extracurricular opportunity which comes into my schools or colleges. So that is what something that I always think about trying something rather than being the same normal student who studies and gets top grade. So I used to be a top grade student till 10th standard, but after that I changed myself because I started thinking myself, right? So I would say like thinking and imagining what you want to do and what you want to aspire is something that has to be brought in through creativity. So if you don't try, you never get that creativity. So what I would say is like start thinking apart from what you can do regularly. There will be some talent around you. It could be something to do with dance. It could be something to do with studies. It could be something to do with extracurricular things like sports. So that's how we were brought in, right? My father doesn't support me when I was a kid to go and participate in a badminton or ball badminton when I used to play. So I used to keep getting selected, but my parent will say, go back and study. So that's how it was till my 12th standard. So once I got into college, that's where I started becoming independent, to start thinking like, no, I want to do this and do that. So similarly, due to my entrepreneurship skills that I wanted to build it out, so I said like, I cannot straight away complete a college and get into something into technology. I need to learn and then grow and then come into a system, right? So essentially in 21st century, it's about primarily how you study, what you learn. So I learned after college, not about during college, right? So it happens if you really love what you're doing. So if you want to do that, first of all, you have to have an open mind to learn from others. So it's very important that I learn from all the juniors who are getting joined in my company as an intern. So actually we learn a lot from all the people who are joining into the company. The one problem that I commonly see with all the students, young minds, is like they start well, but they don't take it forward. So that is a problem. So when they come, for example, in IT companies like us, we are of course into sports, but we are primarily a technology company, right? So people come, join, they start very ambitiously. They try to learn a lot initially. First 3 months, they will seriously prove themselves because they are an intern. They want to become an employee, so we want them to prove to earn their seat, right? So this is the pattern which we have for the last 6 years. We started with 2, now we are 150 employees, but our iteration rate is very, very less. We have hardly lost 8 people in this last 6 years. That's because we create a culture that people have to question. They have to learn, they have to ask questions, they have to innovate and improvise. So that culture to build, I somehow see like our education system is not doing that. If we have to build that, like sir told, it is with you, it's not about from somebody else. It should be covered by us in terms of taking that step forward to take that initiative and think about what exactly I want to do, right? So you can join a company, you will be getting a job. Many don't get a job and you get a job. So when you get a job, you just first take it for granted. So that is a primary problem. So once somebody gets into a job, they get into the job and start thinking about, I want to do this, do that. So, but mostly their priorities change after from an intern, they become an employee. The salary, what they get, start deviating them and distracting them, right? So that is primarily the problem where they stop learning. So I would say like learning is something very continuous. If you don't learn and continue being in 21st century, you cannot survive. The machines and technologies will start overtaking you, right? So if we have to do that kind of a model, then it is a consistent learning that we have to do from even tools like ChatGPT that you guys are looking around for getting some content to send it for emails or send it for some content. So that's what primarily people are using. But what I'm trying to tell is use the technology for the right reasons, to learn and improve and upskill you. If you don't upskill yourself, technologies will start overshadowing you. So that is where there is a problem in terms of current environment, that people don't know what they are trying to do with the technology, what they have in hand. So that is something first needs to be changed, being a student, being a curriculum, being a culture. So questioning and then understanding the problem statements is something people don't do it. And we being a product company, we try to make sure people are having tremendous amount of problem statements that they can solve, because we are in a very untouched territory of sports where it is not still a market created, right? So we are creating a market. So that way, people have a lot of opportunity to learn and prove themselves, but it doesn't mean like every other industry doesn't have that opportunity. Everywhere there is an opportunity in terms of mechanical, inventory, wherever you take it into e-commerce. So everywhere there is an opportunity for both technology and the core skills of that particular domain. So both are very important. So people just start getting habituated to some technology which is taught in that particular company or industry, and then they get used to that, and then they never learn after that, right? So that is a problem. So I would say like continuous learning is something very important, cross-questioning yourself and then asking about why we need to do this, why we should implement this kind of a solution, why we cannot do this. So these questions have to be consistently raised, even in your schools, when your teacher teaches you, or when your college, somebody teaches you, you should definitely start questioning back and asking that and try to find an answer for it. If not, you have to start feeling how to find that answer, right? So that curiosity is something very important, which is what I would say is missing with most of the young talents right now. If that kind of intention and attitude comes into every individual, then definitely things will start shaping like what Sir told in 2047. Definitely we could become a superpower or a developed country, which is missing because we don't take that one step forward to use our skills. Whoever is taking that step forward, or not sitting in India. They move out to some other country and try to settle themselves. So that is happening because we are finding like we are a different genre of people, and if I am belonging to that category, I don't belong to India. So that attitude has to change. I think people like you and people like me can definitely build it out. It takes time, but if we have the patience and put that energy to improve this country and opportunity that we have here, so many countries are coming back to India because there are so much of population, so much of opportunity. So when we cannot tap and somebody else comes in, that is where all this technology will overshadow what we are developing. So that's what I would say as a primary reason, sir.
Thank you so much. Muthaiya made it, yeah, I think you need a big applause for this gentleman who asked for what if analysis is what it is called in management. What is 2 plus 2? 2 plus 2? What is 4 equal to? Not necessary, right? Not necessary. See, this is exactly what he is trying to tell. See, we are habituated for in our education to solve a problem, but this is about situation analysis. When I tell 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, and when I ask you what is 4, your default answer is 2 plus 2, until your brain kicks off telling there could be another. What else? Then innumerable kind of options, and that is where you start opening up your brain and thinking, okay, this can't be a default option. And that is where this whole thing comes. I have actually reserved the best for the last, because he is into that kind of a space where he analyzes. Because I was also wondering, if someone is doing a kind of a skill development program, trying to get in the college, the employer and employee into a kind of a platform and setting it up, then what did we do at all in this 10 plus 2 plus 3 years, or 10 plus 2 plus 4 years, and what was it totally missing, and what is that we should do? We were sharing a lot of common problems. In fact, like though Muthaiya is into a startup company, we source people across for various domain knowledges. So very interestingly, my team used to tell, sir, job join பண்ணதோ முதல் வேலையா அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க தெரியுமா அப்படின்னு. என்னமா பண்ணுவாங்க? பயோடேட்டா அப்டேட் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. I'm already joined here. So that that is what he was telling. They're just getting ready for an exchange even before understanding what you have walked into. Allow that time, have that little bit of patience. I think we have become a big impatient lot, and eventually we are not anywhere at all. We have to be somewhere. That is what we ended, but we are nowhere. And sir, what is the major challenge? I think a lot has to come from you, telling us what is not there, what is expected, and very, very importantly, what we need to do. Possibly if I'm going to have a to-do list today during my lunch break, what should I do? Over to you.
Thank you, Srinivas. Good afternoon, everyone. I think it's because I have some gray hair and all that, he asked me to speak last in this panel. Thank you. And before coming, I prepared, what to talk about 21st century skills as a story of Rajiv. So this Rajiv, in the early 2000s, when the internet came, he was interested, he picked up website development, HTML, etc. And over a period of time, upped his skills, went into user experience and mobile and all that. So the whole story was about how important it is to adapt, how important it is to pick up, multidisciplinary skills, continuous learning, and communication and all that. All that this young man has already said. So I cannot repeat that. And I'm also aware that, Sir said about barriers of communication, I think I'm the last barrier to lunch. So I will keep it really brief. So the one thing which I think really differentiates candidates, because we are in that space. We connect campuses and companies, and we have literally tens of thousands of students who go through the process. So we do a diagnostic assessment, look at where they are, capture their aspirations, and map them to the kind of employer recommended learning path. That's what we do as a company. So the one element, which, like he spoke about positive attitude and all that, I think at a level below that is self-awareness. So see, we are like outward facing. All knowledge, all awareness, all information, everything we are building on what is around us. You know, we are absorbing and building that structure of knowledge and information. But we don't really look at ourselves internally. You know, so that self-awareness is something that will really differentiate people. You know, because he talked about, knowing what you want. What is your ambition? What are you looking for in life? Right? It sounds a little philosophical, so we stay away from that question, right? Ramana Maharshi said, he said, you ask nan yar. That's all. That's the only question to ask. The whole purpose of life is to answer that question, right? So the self-awareness, even at a level of, what you're good at, what you are not good at, what you want, what will give you happiness, and the whole thing converging into, one of the ideals. What the Japanese say about life and career is, if you are doing something that you are good at, right, that you enjoy doing, and that you are paid for. So you're at the intersection of these three things. You are good at that, you like doing that, and you are being paid for that. The intersection of these three circles is the ikigai. So that is your sweet spot. So how do you know that? So that comes from self-awareness and obviously, attributes like positivity and so on and so forth. So I wish you all a very successful inward journey, and that will lead to a very successful outward journey as well. Thank you.
Wow, I think we have come a full circle. Yeah, definitely not stopping your lunch. Venkatesh has already signaled me. So just consolidating from where we have, you should have seen the perspective, what I'm going to take, and possibly what I feel as a more core elements is we started something on being self-aware, and we ended with self-awareness as well, incidentally. We had something on positivity, being a kind of a person who can be socially aware, create a kind of an ambition, try, and very, very interestingly is this power of ask, and finally we signed off with the concept of philosophy, the ikigai. This is something very intense, interesting, and very purpose-oriented. I would ask all of you, whether you're a school student or possibly a professor here, to dwell deep and find out your ikigai, and that is where a lot of ikigai workshops go to tell like what you are, and I think these panelists have found out like what they are, and then they are into that journey. So I think one sign of remark is possibly to tell like aspiration is good, but the whole idea is all these people were telling is, why don't you become inspirational? Why don't you become that person whom people will aspire for? And that is where this final one thing comes, is the power of ask, and possibly that inquisitiveness factor. Possibly before we are just leaving for lunch, I just remember reading this somewhere in Reader's Digest some time back. There was a college meeting, something like this. There is a college warden here. Warden always have a problem, right? What's the problem? Yes, some discipline problem always. And all students have a problem with warden because he wants students to be disciplined. So this particular problem, what they were trying to address is these boys coming to girls' hostel. That was a serious problem. So he was trying a lot of measures to cut this off, telling boys can't come to girls' hostel. So he tried a lot of methods, nothing worked. So he came up with a plan telling boys or the children have a limited resource. One limited resource is money, the pocket money. So he said, I will touch on that. Then I will see to that how we will manage. So he says, okay, so boys here, girls here, we decided that next time I see a boy coming to the girls' hostel, you pay 100 rupees. So they said, oh my God, 100 rupees one time. And he says, second time it is not 100 but 200 rupees. And third time it is going to be 500. And if I'm going to see fourth time, then possibly I'm going to charge 1,000 rupees. Please make note. So wardens being professors, right, he's just about to leave and he just remembers his practice. He says, do you have any doubts? There's one hand coming up and telling, yes sir, I have a doubt. Face not seen. He says, okay, what's your doubt? He said, do we have a season ticket? So have this inquisitiveness, helps move forwarding. It may be a little joke, but keep thinking, keep smiling, and wish you all the very best. Thank you, sir. Over to you. And I also thank the panelists. I'm sure, I personally feel the time was unjustified. I would have learnt a lot from each one of you. Definitely you carry a lot of wisdom, a lot of input. I'm sure you will be also staying around for some time. Students who want to really connect with them could definitely connect each one, because I interacted for a very short time and I found them to be a lot resourceful than what they spoke, because we were constrained on a topic and subject. Subhash sir can give you a lot of insight about what you can actually do. In fact, I reserved some extra time for him, but after talking about Ramana Rishi, he decided not to speak. So please stay back, sir. I think students would get benefited a lot from you. All of the dignitaries here as well. Thank you so much. So I just thought I'll use this 1 minute until you come up the stage. Over to you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot to all the panel members and the moderator on the dais. It was an informative and interesting session. We feel really honored to have you all with us today, sir. I'm sure your insights on 21st century skills will really be helpful to the listeners henceforth in their life too. Before having another interesting panel discussion with another set of panel members, let's break for lunch. Thank you all. Assemble at the